Welcome to Violent Vinyl Radio, where we break down the best hair metal albums from the 80s and the 90s. So grab that volume knob, crank it up, and enjoy the show.
Live from the VVR studios in downtown Boston, it's showtime. Deja vu. Welcome to Violent Vinyl Radio. I'm your host, Des, and as always, I'm joined by my two co-hosts. First up, the podcaster, holding all the aces, Dangerous Dave.
You don't have to be crazy to work here, but it helps. Our first try with this pod was Wasted Sam.
And last but not least, the podcaster who likes the dark side of the beat, Lisa.
Oh, that's life in Hollywood.
Oh,
Oh,
man.
straight through the heart.
No.
Oh, we'll get to that.
I love David Roach.
Yep.
Okay. So I want to mention today, well, actually last week when we tried to record this, but today is our 1 year anniversary as Violent Vinyl Radio. And yes. And this also marks Lisa's 1 year anniversary with the show. So Lisa, I want to take a moment to thank you for all your hard work, all your dedication, all your journalism. I want to thank you for everything that you've done to help us bring this show to the next level. We absolutely could not have done it without you. So thank you so much. We appreciate you, and I know that our listeners do as well.
That's right. Thank you.
Aw, you guys are so nice. I cannot believe that it's been a year. It doesn't feel like a year. It feels like we just started a minute ago. I'm shocked. I've been hearing from so many people, congratulations on your year, because you guys posted it, obviously, online. So, I heard from Sean and how he watches the podcast, listens to the podcast all the time and loves to hear stories about himself. Like when he showed me Pretty Boy Floyd and said, look at these guys. And I said, what do they sound like? And he said, who cares? And he thought that, he was like, I remember that. That was the funniest thing ever. And he listens to us while he works, and heard from my coworkers. Even I had to go to a meeting with my coworkers, like actually in person and face to face in the office, and many people, including some of my executive team, brought up that they listened to the podcast, and I was actually quite shocked about that. So yeah, it's been amazing.
I was scared for you, Lisa. I thought you were going to lose your job over that.
Watch out what you say.
No, they seem to love it. I mean, I've been at my company for almost 2 decades, so they know me by now. So
it's funny. We were actually, so I was texting back and forth with Pink. You would send me some pictures from the Spread Eagle show you guys went to, and Sean was there, like you said. My boy Sean, looking fucking dope as hell, man. This kid with the new updated Chuck Taylors and the skull socks and tattooed from fucking eyeball to asshole. I fucking love this kid. Drummer in almost every band they've ever been. I fucking love him. But Pink was opening up for the great Spread Eagle, and this kid has got the best pair of fucking leopard stiletto shoes you have ever seen.
He does.
So I was texting with him about his shoes, among other things, and he was telling me that his wife was going away on a business trip, and she was bummed. And it was like, I don't remember where she was going. It was somewhere cool, like Las Vegas or LA.
Yeah.
It was Las Vegas.
There you go. And how she was bummed. I was like, oh, how could she be bummed? That's such an awesome, going away on work. I wish I was doing something like that. He's like, she doesn't like to be away from me. We're buds, And I was like, oh, that's so sweet. I go, it's funny. My wife likes when I just leave her the fuck alone and I stay upstairs. And you know what his response was? He said, well, you are a lot. And there was no smiley face or emoji or laugh out loud or anything. It was just so as a matter of a fact. So I showed that to Lynn and she was fucking laughing her ass. Yep, you are a lot.
I got to hang out with his wife at the show while he was playing, and we spent some time together. She's super cool. Oh. And I immediately pointed out his shoes to her. And she knows. Yep, he yeah, she knew. So
she knows.
Yeah.
So there is a new page out I want to direct our listeners to. It's called Boston's 80s, the Metal Years. It's brand new on Facebook, but they got like 750 followers really quickly. So if you're a local listener of this show, go over and check that out. I mean, you probably already have. It's really cool. It's fun. It's everything from Boston scene back, from the early 80s. And I've seen stuff going right into the early 90s. Really cool. So I was perusing it on my wife's Facebook because I'm not on Facebook because Facebook is gay. But if you are on Facebook, but if you are on Facebook, check it out. And somebody had posted a video of the music complex, which is like the big complex where it was almost like the Hollywood Strip in Boston, if you will. This is where every party and everything happened. It was open 24 hours a day. I lived there for well over 2 years. So I saw this video, and it was like a picture video of like just pictures of the years gone by. There was some like really cool music over it. I'm like, I wonder if I'm in this. I live there. I have to be. So I'm watching it. And sure enough, there's a picture of me looking like a fucking drowned rat, looking like I'm one bite of food away from starving to death. I'm laying on a dirty mattress in dirty sweatpants with my hair fucking half fire engine red manic panic and half jet black, like snacking on like a half-eaten French fry, like a seagull. So I fucking showed it to
Jim.
Totally. I showed it to my wife. She goes, "That's so sad." She goes, she was being serious. She goes, "It's like seeing a ghost." So Jay Summerfield, I texted it to him because he's the one that told me about this Facebook fucking page. And he goes, "Dude, that's hilarious and sad all at the same time." So yeah, this is pretty fucked up looking.
It's fun to see back in the day stuff, but you live in my head with the green and purple hair.
Right.
Era.
Right.
That's my main memory of you. So when I saw the picture of you with the red and black, I was like, "Whoa, that's a different look on Des."
So, laying in a pile of trash on a dirty fucking pissed on mattress. Oh my God.
Yeah. Do we want to talk a little bit about the Spread Eagle show?
Let's get into the show and then we will. Okay. I know I went off on a little tangent, but we will talk about the Spread Eagle show. So, as always, the mission of this show is for us to introduce each other and you, the listeners, to albums and bands which you may have never heard before, while also discussing the classics. So sit back and enjoy the show. Dave, where can the listeners find this fine podcast?
We are available on most podcast outlets. Also, check us out on YouTube. Give us a listen and tell a friend. Like, subscribe, and share the show. And if you can give us a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts, it really helps out the show. You can find us on our social medias at Instagram, VVR Podcast Insta, or on Facebook at Violent Vinyl Podcast.
Awesome. Check out the merch store, guy. Help us out, man. We fucking don't ask for any sort of Patreon. All we ask is that you get yourself a fucking coffee mug or a t-shirt. So go check that out at vvr.printify, printify.me. I am wearing a Violent Vinyl t-shirt as we speak.
Nice.
Yes.
And no Patreon.
I was going to point that out. I noticed that as soon as you came on. It looks really nice.
Thank you. Yeah. It's pretty good. It's like I said, the new designs are coming. They're going to be a little tighter, a little brighter, but I think all in all, it's pretty good for a fucking.
It is pretty cool.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Merch store. Yep. vvr.printify.me.
That's right. .me. Okay, so let's head over to the mailbag. So before we get into the mailbag, if you listen to the blurb I put out last week when we were supposed to put the show out, but didn't because we forgot to turn the mics on and wasted 3 hours of our lives, you heard that we had decided that we were going to start splitting the show into 2 parts and dropping a podcast every week. But the people have spoken and I have heard you, okay? There was a revolt against the idea led by radio. Do not want to hear this. Do not want this idea. So we're not going to do it. Radio specifically, he was just like, dude, I'll just pause it and listen to it on my own time. I do not want to wait a week. So we're not going to do that. But I had the best idea for like an off-show show that we could do, like maybe, between shows, when we feel up to. When I say I had an idea, I really meant that Lisa had an idea.
This happens to me all the time.
but I did have a great name for it. Violent Vinyl Radio After Dark. All right.
That is a great name.
So that was Dave's idea, actually.
Wah, wah.
But hey, I'll be there. Okay. So we're thinking about doing something like that. Lisa, give them just a quick outline of what this might be.
So it would be much shorter blurbs of time. So 15 minutes, 30 minutes at a time, where we'll pick a topic or two, maybe to do with music, maybe to do with something that's going on in the world right now that we want to talk about, and just kind of come together and bounce ideas off of each other, kind of without a script, without a lot of research, just having friends having a conversation about important things. So
Cool. I like it. I can't wait to do it. It'll be like a kind of like a little morning drive show. So you can listen to it like it was a radio show on your way to work.
Right.
Hence, Violent Vinyl Radio. Okay, so let's head over to the mailbag. I'm going to start off with Kim. So we got a really nice message from Kim. I had woke up at about 6:30 for work. I fucking hate work. Oh, I hate work. I was in my apartment screaming that today. I fucking hate work. Like, people probably think I have Tourette's syndrome, like in the apartment next door, but whatever. That's neither here nor there. But I was getting ready to go to this fucking dog of a job that I work every day. And I saw, we got a message, and it was from Kim. And she said she woke up and looked for a podcast to listen to while getting ready for work and saw the new VVR episode had dropped. And it made her day. It made her feel like it was her fucking birthday. And you know what? It made me feel like it was my birthday. Kim, thank you for your kind message and for listening to the show. That really made my day, I got to tell you. And I think that I shot a screenshot of that over to Dave and Lisa while I was sitting on the toilet. So there you go.
Not a picture of him sitting on the toilet. Let me make it clear.
Picture of the message.
Picture of the message. Thank you, yes. Kim.
Okay. But if you guys would like to request the picture of me on the toilet, just say the word and my wish.
We'll put it on the merch store.
that can be arranged.
Like a Gigi Allen t-shirt?
Yeah.
That's coming on the Patreon.
Oh, shit. Okay. Second up, Ben wrote in. And Ben wrote in to let us know he is still on board with the show. He also had some words of wisdom for me when he reminded me that opinions are like assholes. Everybody has one. And in my opinion, no truer words have ever been spoken. So thanks for writing in, guys. We always look forward to reading your comments. Lisa, do you have any mail that you would like to share today?
Yeah, so I actually also got a message from Kim talking about the last episode that she said that this album, this was Shotgun Messiah's second album, Second Coming. She said, this is one of the albums of my youth. And she was really excited to see that one was chosen because it's, it wasn't a major hit back in the day. But she was really excited for the episode we're about to now. So I got almost the same message from Peter, who said that he loves this record and he couldn't believe that we were posting it and talking about it. And actually, I got many, many other messages that had the same feeling, that a lot of people loved this band. They had a fan base. They were, pretty well loved by their fans, and a lot more than I thought.
Shotgun Messiah.
Shotgun Messiah. Wow. Yeah. That a lot of people knew who they were, loved them, but they still remain kind of like, I want to call them underground, but definitely
semi-underground.
Yeah, semi-underground, but they still to this day have a ton of fans.
Nice.
So
awesome. Dave, I never go to you. I just, do you ever get any mail?
I have not gotten any mail yet. So if anybody wants to write in
Dave.
and talk some shit to me, that's cool.
Oh, fucking somebody write Dave a fucking email. Okay. Tonight we will be discussing Slave to the Grind, the second studio album by Skid Row, produced by the great Michael Wagner, my favorite producer on all of these fucking shows we do. Whenever Michael Wagner's name pops up, I know we're in for a treat. It was released on June 11th, 1991 on Atlantic Records. The album peaked at the number uno spot on the US Billboard 200, right where it belonged. The band's lineup was as follows. The great Sebastian Bach on lead vocals, Dave Sabo on guitars, Scotty Hill on guitars and backing vocals, Rachel Boland, bass, backing vocals, and Rob Afuso on drums. So when we
was he
recorded
not
this,
listed as Dave the Snake Sabo on this album?
Okay,
just
so-
as Dave Sabo?
I don't know. I mean, that's just probably what was on Wikipedia.
Oh, interesting.
So
I did not look at the album cover on, discogs.com.
speaking of which, The first time we recorded this podcast, I was referring to Dave Sabo as Jake the Snake.
Yes, you were, which was hilarious, by the way.
I don't know why. When I did my notes, for some reason, I had like wrestling on the mind. I had written fucking.
And every song you called him Jake.
Jake
You
the
did.
Snake. And finally, Lisa was like, "Will you shut the fuck up? His name is Dave." Holy shit.
We have a correction.
Yeah.
Yes. So anyway, it was fun though. Jake the Snake.
Yeah.
Okay. Lisa. No. Dave. You got some band facts for me?
I do. Well, I have a bonus fact now because I'm on discogs.com and I'm looking at the album cover of Slave to the Grind, and Dave is credited as Dave the Snake Sabo.
Interesting.
Nice.
Scotty Hill, Rachel Bolan, Rob Affuso. So
Right.
we are back online.
Mm.
So
Awesome.
I have some facts for you.
Serum.
All right. We did cover Skid Row's 1989 debut album in episode number 10 of Violent Vinyl Radio. Check that one out to hear more facts than you thought possible about this band. And as a quick refresher, Skid Row was formed in 1986 in Toms River, New Jersey. Their first album brought them several chart-topping singles and worldwide recognition. Now we are up to date. Up to Slave to the Grind.
Nice, Lisa. Fill in the gaps.
Dave has a few more things.
I've
That's
got
it?
way more.
Yeah.
Oh shit!
Because we need to talk about this album. So
Yes.
yeah.
You would think I would know that scene that we already did this podcast once. Sorry. Keep going, guys. Just wake me up when you're done.
The album cover art was done by singer Sebastian Bach's dad, David Bierk. According to Wikipedia, he was an American-Canadian realist painter known for working in the postmodern genre. Born in 1944 in Appleton, Minnesota, he moved to Canada in the 1970s. Among his other works, he created the art for a Canada Post stamp in 1976, and also a portrait of Queen Elizabeth II that overlooked the Peterborough Memorial Centre Arena in Ontario, Canada. That was completed in 1981 and measured 12 feet by 8 feet. It is believed that's big. It's believed to
big.
be
Yeah.
believed to be the largest portrait of the Queen in North America. Mr. Bierk died in 2002. The cover of Slave to the Grind was inspired by Caravaggio's Burial of St. Lucy from 1608 and shows John F. Kennedy in the crowd and depicts people using modern technological gizmos and gadgets.
I remember all this now.
If you want to look into some of his work, he was an extremely prolific artist. From like the most beautiful landscapes, he was able to paint, like, you know, when you see a sunset and you see that the light coming through and it's orange and yellow and you're like, wow, he actually was able to paint that color using paint. I don't know how he brought light into the paintings, but
Yeah.
he did a lot of Renaissance style paintings and portraits and all sorts of stuff. So go check him out.
Cool.
Fantastic.
So.
I believe he also painted the cover of Sebastian's latest solo album. Is that right?
Correct.
Waste of time.
We're not going to judge.
We're going to get to that.
According to Wikipedia, Slave to the Grind is the first heavy metal album to chart at number 1 on the Billboard 200 in the Nielsen SoundScan era, selling 134,000 copies in its opening week. The album was certified 2 times platinum by the Recording Industry Association of America, the RIAA, in 1998 for shipping 2 million copies in the United States. For those of you who don't know, the SoundScan system came online in the early 90s to count album sales and was digital electronic versus the former system, which was, I suppose, paper based, based on, shipping numbers and returns and all that kind of stuff. But SoundScan allowed them to sort of track it right at the
Point of purchase. Yeah.
point of purchase. Thank
Mm.
you. At the record stores to get a more accurate sales number.
Yeah. Fun
Dave.
fact: they were the first band to debut at #1 in the SoundScan era,
Yeah.
and before that, but one more fact, and before that, only 2 other albums in the pre-SoundScan era ever debuted at #1 in their release week. I think because of the counting issue.
Sure.
You know,
What were they?
So they were Elton John's Captain Fantastic and the Brown Dirt Cowboy.
Nice.
That was 1975. And
No jokes, Des.
Yep. And Michael Jackson's Bad in '87.
It's awesome. I do remember on the last round of this podcast being shocked that this was their #1 album on the Billboard 200. I mean, 18 in Life. I Remember You, Youth Gone Wild.
Mm-hmm.
To what? And this is the one that went #1?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that first album was a slow burn.
It was.
It took
Good
a while for them to work up to it.
Mhm.
That blows my mind. What's left of it? Keep going.
The band reportedly wrote the album in a New Jersey studio and demoed the tracks with producer Michael Wagner. Recording began in late 1990 and took place at 2 studios, New River in Fort Lauderdale, Florida, and Scream in Studio City, California. The sound of this album moved away from the 80s glam rock sound of the first album in favor of a harder and darker style. The band wanted to try a heavier sound, and at the same time, they most likely saw the neon 80s style and vibe changing, perhaps collapsing around them, with bands like Pantera and Alice in Chains becoming popular. Guitarist Dave Snake Sabo talked to Tim Louie at the Aquarian newspaper in 2015. It was formerly known back in the late 80s as the EC Rocker. I guess to this day, Slave to the Grind would be my favorite for a number of reasons. It was a shock to a lot of people that we would come out with a record like that after the first record and the success that we had had with it. I think a lot of people expected us to become formulaic with the way we approached the first record, and we had no interest in doing that. And I'm so proud of all of us for being on the same page with it. I'm not saying that would have been easy from the creative standpoint, or that would have not been easy from the creative standpoint to sort of go along the lines of the first record, because it had some pretty big songs as far as radio goes, but we were in a different mindset. We had gone from barely leaving the state of New Jersey to seeing the world that very few people are privileged with. Music videos were produced for all 5 singles: Monkey Business, Slave to the Grind, Wasted Time, In a Darkened Room, and Quicksand Jesus, all of which feature on the video album No Frills Video. And when recording finished, Skid Row opened for Guns N' Roses on the 1991 North American leg of their Use Your Illusion tour. In 1992, Skid Row took Pantera and Soundgarden as supporting bands on its Slave to the Grind tour.
That's a big departure from, the previous style of music that they used to tour with too.
Oh, yeah.
They were trying to wrap themselves in cool bands so they could be relevant.
Keep up to date with the kids.
Yep.
So number 9, you can check out on YouTube a video called Skid Row Rehearsal from 1991, Slave to the Grind tour, from the channel The Video Vault. I believe we have shouted them out before. This is a really cool find. Check it out. It's definitely worth watching. Very cool watching them rehearse for their tour in 1991.
That's my favorite video of them, honestly.
It's a lot of fun.
It's super cool. Yeah.
Sebastian's bringing it like a live show.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. It's like a full dress rehearsal, I would call it. But it's funny because they're playing to basically a wall, right?
Yep.
So like a few feet in front of them is a wall.
Their stage banner.
Yeah.
And some road cases.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
It's cool though.
Yeah, it's a great video.
So yeah, the band appeared on Saturday Night Live, November 2nd, 1991. Skid Row performed Piece of Me and Monkey Business. Band members Sebastian Bach and Rachel Bolan also appeared in the Kitty Metal sketch with Adam Sandler and host Kiefer Sutherland. That was pretty funny. Check it out online if you can find it.
I just watched Machine Gun Kelly doing a fucking impersonation of Jim Carrey in
Ugh.
Pet Detective.
I
not a
like
big
him.
Dude, it's just funny. Like, go check it out. It's brand new. He does fucking skit from Pet Detective, and he looks just like Jim Carrey. He's got like the rubber face, and he's memorized like the entire scene. It's really funny.
glove.
Yeah,
Was he the one that played Tommy Lee in the
Yeah,
Yeah.
He was good.
But
You know
his
what's weird,
music
though?
sucks.
He's blacking out all of his tattoos. So like he had the best tats. Like he was tatted up like head to toe with like these killer high end, super colorful tats. Now it's just all blacked out. All of
Kat
it.
Von D did the same thing recently, blacked out her whole body basically.
My tattoo artist just did it. He did his whole
Yeah.
freaking sleeve black, dude. It's
Yep.
tattooed up. Kids. This is a fad. Don't do this. Don't do this. You will regret this eventually.
Spoiler alert, I love it.
What?
I
What?
do.
I hate it.
I love it so
Oh,
much.
it's so bad. I mean, I have plenty of bad tattoos that I could black out. Oh,
Just leave the bad tattoos.
That's a
They're
painful process. I just want to say, by the way, they use like
Oh, yeah.
100 needle guns to do that. It is brutal. So
You know what's
don't want
funny?
that.
Where I go, so they all love like I've got 2 full sleeves, but like my one old school sleeves is like they love it there. They're like, you just don't see them like that anymore. You just
Yeah.
don't see them like that. They love it. So there you go. It's retro cool, I guess.
Yeah. Lisa, what do you
cool.
got?
Is it my turn? Okay.
Yes.
So, Dave, I'm going to put you to work a little bit.
Oh, no.
So, we're going to go back to our episode 10. And when we did the original Skid Row's self titled album, our final score on the show was 96.80. And at the time, that was our number 1 on the chart. So, can you tell us where that first album is now?
Right now, the first Skid Row album from 1989 is currently at number 3. And that is below LA Guns, Cocked and Loaded, and above Faster Pussycat's 1987 debut.
Okay, and let's look at Sebastian Bach on the chart from that original album.
The frontman chart?
Yes.
All right. Sebastian is currently at number 3 at 92.70.
Okay, so both Sebastian
underneath,
and the album ended up at 3.
Yes,
Okay.
underneath Ozzy Osbourne,
Mm-hmm.
R.I.P. Ozzy,
Oh.
and above Phil Lewis from LA Guns.
Okay.
He's way better than Phil Lewis. Way better. And I love Phil Lewis, and I'm the biggest LA Guns fan ever. But I mean, Sebastian Bach is just, I don't know, maybe not. Keep going.
Well,
Okay.
Are we judging singing or attitude?
I don't know.
or,
I'm confused now because
It's
I love
hard.
those. Yeah, I love those LA Guns albums so much. Like his material was so good,
you know,
so
Phil,
much darker.
Phil still sounds good, and Phil's still in pretty good shape.
Yeah,
so-
and he's a cool
Oh, now,
guy.
no,
Yeah.
now it's a smackdown for Phil Lewis. He's killing Sebastian, but
Yeah.
you know, in their primes, I don't know.
Mhm.
It's
It's
hard
Tame
to
Me
rate
Down.
them now looking back. It really is.
Tame Me Down, still number
Yeah.
1 for me. Keep going.
Okay, so I'm going to do like a full disclosure here, just like I did on episode 10. Skid Row obviously are friends of mine. I do work for the band occasionally, doing merch and whatever else they need done. I have a definite attachment to them, so that probably gives me some level of bias. I love their music. They are amazing human beings. I stated this the last time. I just wanted a level set to make sure that my bias is well known as we go into this.
I've heard the end of this show. No shit.
Yeah.
and as a disclaimer, we definitely do not bury anybody in the Pine Barrens of New Jersey for Skid Row.
Yeah.
Right
You know, 'cause
behind
that doesn't happen.
right behind Vintage Vinyl and the vacant
Right.
lot.
Yes.
Ford's New Jersey.
But
That's right.
you know, even back in the day, so I met them originally. I was still underage when I met them the first time. I think I told that story in the original podcast. But even before then, when I was just a fan and had no connection to them at all, I still loved them. They were still my favorite. I still wore their merch. You know, this is you know, this is one of my top bands. So I urge everyone again to go back to episode 10 because we did all the big band facts, the history, and the individual guys. We're going to kind of skip all that in this one. We also basically have gone over what was happening in 1991 very recently as well. So we had a lot of pop music. We did have grunge appearing, but not charting. But I just wanted to point out that when we look back at 1991, now many, many years later, of course, we don't see the same music being remembered and being, kind of revered as what was on the charts at the time. So,
Yes.
when we look back, it's Nirvana, Guns N' Roses, Pearl Jam, Chili Peppers, Ozzy, Tupac, Soundgarden, NWA, maybe, that we're like, oh my God, that was the amazing music coming out of 91. That's not what was on the charts.
No.
Right. So, okay. So, Skid Row, when they released Slave to the Grind, they generally got great critical reception and fan reception for this album, which was different than how the first album was received initially out of the gate. It was a very kind of slow-moving album, and it took many, many months before people really started listening to that one. But this one was pretty much a hit, like right out of the gate. Let's see. They would record after this album 3 more studio albums, the most recent one being... I'm sorry. So the next album what was the next album? Subhuman Race, and then 3 more albums after that. The most recent one being in 2022, which is Gangs All Here. That was with singer Eric Grunwald, which is an incredible album, and I urge everyone to go out and buy this. The music that we loved back in the day seems to be back in style now, which is pretty amazing. And the old bands are putting out new music, and new bands are putting out music in this style, which is amazing, you know.
There's definitely a little renaissance going on.
There really is. I'm really happy about that, actually. There isn't a lot of there's no new style of music, and there's not like a lot of new icons really at this point. So that's what
nobody
we have.
plays any fucking instruments anymore.
They don't. It's so sad.
With all
the time that we all would sit in our rooms and just practice our instruments, and that was half our life. Now everybody sits on a screen all the time. They don't learn how to play anything.
Sure.
There's dudes on YouTube with channels literally like putting out songs that are completely generated on their fucking DAW with bullshit fake everything.
Yeah.
Can't play a fucking instrument.
I'm not against synth because I enjoy synth, but even like the synth musicians that I listen to are still musicians. Most of them are, classical pianists or something like that. Yeah. So anyway, that's a little rant.
Or make your own samples.
That's going to be my first topic for our mini After Dark episode right there.
I don't want to hear my first topic.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
So since our last podcast, the episode 10, there haven't been too many updates on this band, but I'm going to go through just a couple of them. We, of course, have been treated to Sebastian's social media nonsense that is continuing on and probably will always continue on. Last time we visited Sebastian, he was posting close-ups of his spandex or in leather-wrapped package close-ups and posting weird things after almost ending his marriage to his wife, Suzanne, eventually blaming his insane jealousy on the incident. She had left him for the jealousy and, whatever else. I don't know personally why she left, but she did leave for a while. He has apologized publicly profusely for this, and obviously they've worked something out. She obviously forgave him and came back. There's been many social media posts recently of the couple together. They look happy, so happy for them. He continues to tour to support his newest solo album, which is called Child Within the Man, that released in 2024. And in 2024, he performed in 91 cities. So that's a lot of playing. That's a lot of concerts for 1 year for someone who's not really from this era. So pretty good. His solo band currently has 3 members who are relatively unknown guys. We'll talk about that in a bit. But over time, he's played with a lot of guys in his band, like a huge list on Wikipedia of musicians, most of them being relatively unknown or having this as kind of their first gig publicly, right? So young guys. One of the guys he has played with is Rob DeLuca, one of the founding members of Spread Eagle, which is a band who we just saw I was going to say last night. It wasn't last night. Now it was last week. So last week.
A couple days ago now.
Yeah. And Rob DeLuca, obviously, of UFO, I believe he started playing with them in 2008. He's played with Pat Benatar and some other projects along the way. Super cool guy.
And Bang, let's not forget the very
and
first
Bang,
metal
yes,
Bang.
Exactly. The most important, the Boston-based band.
Really,
Boston-based
band, really one of the first hair metal bands to get a buzz in Boston.
Yeah.
They had a single on the radio called Summertime. I wish it was summertime.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. That guitar riff, Dave, can you play the riff for Summertime?
I've never even heard it.
Oh my God,
Blasphemy.
David!
I'm not from here. I'm from Jersey.
Oh, that's right. Vintage vinyl records. Great guitar riff. Rob DeLuca, dude, maybe one of the baddest asses to ever come out of Boston. Go watch that Spread Eagle Switchblade Serenade video. He looks like a motherfucker.
Yeah.
So cool.
They won the in September '86. Bang, the band with Rob DeLuca, won the MTV Basement Tapes competition. I believe we've talked several times about Basement Tapes.
Nice. That was the same one that Extreme sent their video into.
And it was for MTV. Summertime. Yeah.
Of course.
And fun fact about Rob DeLuca, he did they were playing with Guns N' Roses on a Canadian tour. This was in 2006 with Sebastian Bach's band and Helmet. So Guns N' Roses was obviously the headliner. Sebastian Bach's band and Helmet were the openers.
Was that Madam X?
Madam X?
That
the
Sebastian
band?
was in?
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Blanked for a minute. Yes.
Okay.
So at the time, Helmet's bassist was refused entry at the Canadian border, couldn't cross into Canada from the US. So Rob had 4 hours to learn their 10-song set, Helmet's 10-song set, while playing with Sebastian Bach before going on stage for their first show. And he did it no problem. So this is a killer musician. Imagine being like, hey, can you fill in? And if you remember, when we saw Enough's Enough, Janae and I, it's been about a month now since we saw them. When we walked in, Chip was on stage with one of the opening bands. And when he came off stage, he was like, oh yeah, their bass player's sick, so I just jumped in. And I was like, oh my God, right? Like, how
That's crazy.
Amazing musicians.
Goddamn professional.
Yeah, professional. Yep.
This was more recent, not back in the day.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, okay. So it wasn't Madam
This
X.
was 2006.
Okay, so
yeah,
he was in
Madam X is a while ago.
back in the day.
Yeah,
I mean that to now. That's back in the day.
back in the day. Yeah. Oh my God, I feel so old.
That's back in a different day, but it's still back in the day.
Yeah. So if we want to just talk a little bit about the Spread Eagle show that was last week. So it was Ray West, who is the original singer, and Rob DeLuca, the original bass player. They had Rick DeLuca, who is Rob DeLuca's cousin, playing on drums. And they had a guitarist who has been with them only since 2022. His name, Jami Puleda. Super cool guy. He hit all the solos, by the way. I just want to say that.
Okay, did you ever check out the solo for Switchblade Serenade?
I have. I'm learning it right now.
Yeah.
Oh, are you really?
For the cover band, yeah.
How impressed were you with the solo?
Pretty impressed. I'm gonna have to fudge some of those notes because I can't play all that.
I want a video. At least I would like a video of him playing that solo.
Okay,
It's one of my favorite solos. I fucking love that solo.
He won't let me take videos of the Wait solo anymore, so it'll be this one now.
Listen,
I'm gonna have to cheat that one a little bit.
Dave, you guys should dump that fucking White Lion song from your set. It's and literally, if I was there, I would have to leave. I would have to.
Oh,
The crowd seems to like it, though.
They
let's be
don't.
fair.
They
do.
don't. Unless they're a bunch
do.
of 15-year-old girls.
It wasn't, every 15-year-old girl is eventually a 50-year-old woman. So that's what's
right.
been happening. So,
Okay.
Yep.
Good
Yep.
point.
there's life advice for you.
yeah.
Dude,
it's
I
true.
think Lisa's trolling me now. She said fucking like texted me a fucking short clip of Mike Tramp singing.
I did.
I like literally went, oh fuck, delete.
He
delete.
looked great. What are you
He
talking
did
about?
not. I thought it was David Lee Roth present.
Okay. To be fair, I had that moment too, but the person who posted it was Steve Sex Summers. Did you see he was standing on the side of the stage there too? So.
I thought I saw a little goblin over there on the side of the stage.
Goblin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was him.
He was
Okay.
sucking up all the smoke from the fog
That
machine.
he was sitting right above the smoke machine. He was.
He was like
Yeah, yeah.
Gollum in the smoke over in the
Yeah.
corner.
Yeah. So for the Spread Eagle show, by the way, they were fantastic.
Mhm.
They
Yep.
haven't played for a long time, and they haven't played here in our area, New England, for a really long time. And I did get to talk to the guys after the show. They were absolutely awesome. Ray West's voice was right on point. I was right in his face. Well, to be fair, I was right in Rob DeLuca's crotch the whole night. Is where my spot was.
Ew.
Yeah. And I posted a whole bunch of videos on social media for anyone who wants to see how they were. But I talked to all the guys, and Rob had a lot of memories of playing around Boston, and we talked about a lot of the clubs and stuff.
And they're all gone.
Yeah, they are all gone.
Yes.
We were naming
Sorry.
them, Bun Ratties, Rock Pile. We were just going through the list. We were like,
Nope.
yep, gone.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yep.
so sad. But they were fantastic. They played their hits. They played some new songs. They played like this, like a jam, like a country jam, and a neat little drum solo. It was just a great show. Lots of local bands opening. Of course, we mentioned Pink, a band called Sideshow, which hasn't played since the 90s, I think, together.
That's what you said.
Yeah. And there was Veil End, which is a progressive rock band, I'm going to call them.
Sure.
Yeah, really, really heavy rock band out of Keene, New Hampshire. With a female singer, Jorinda Johnson, who played, and everybody loved her.
Yeah,
She had a
good pipes.
killer voice. And of course, local favorite, Bad Marriage, who very nicely did a tribute to David Roach, who passed during the show. So,
Yep.
yeah.
So sad. So
Yeah.
sad.
So sad. So back to Sebastian, another person who's played in his solo band, Nick Sterling, who recorded his first guitar album at the age of 10. Can you imagine that? Yep.
Something.
He's played with anyone who is anyone in metal, from Aerosmith to Alice Cooper to Steve Vai, Joe Satriani, Guns N' Roses, Overkill, and many, many, many more. He was fired by Sebastian for refusing to sign a release to perform with him on TV.
Well,
Yeah.
I didn't know what a guitar was when I was 10.
Yeah. This kid has an album.
That's
Yeah.
amazing.
Other people who have played with Sebastian include former members of Obituary, Overkill, Prong. He seemed to be favoring more heavy musicians, like real, true metal or, doom metal, speed metal, rather than the glam stuff that he kind of came up with, right? Sebastian continues to make his case. I would even use the word beg to rejoin Skid Row.
Plead.
Yeah. The actual band, of course, repeatedly has said, no way.
No, thank
No,
you.
thank you. As recently as June, Sebastian really went off the deep end, nearly whining that he doesn't understand why he can't play with his former band members. It doesn't make sense that I can't play with those guys. But as I said, it's a business matter, and maybe someday the business can get sorted out. He made these statements when discussing some of his career regrets in a recent interview. As recently as March, Dave the Snake says, I'm not going to do it, and fake it for the blank check. He also says something interesting, that he's really upset that Rachel has taken most of the blame for this break over the years. He says that Rachel's ego has often been blamed for the split with Sebastian publicly, and that fans and critics and anyone who can really kind of jumps on him over this, kind of blaming the whole situation on him. Dave shares clear as day that Dave, Scotty, and Rachel are all on the same page as to why they can no longer play with Sebastian.
Mhm.
And it couldn't be further from the truth that it has anything to do specifically with Rachel or Rachel's imaginary ego or any nonsense like that. He's been very upset that the band has kind of been ripped apart by fans and by previous band members, by the way, over this split. And the band now doesn't comment directly on any of these things, because why would they? They aren't true. There's no reason to acknowledge those types of things.
I think
So-
they should do a fucking tour with Sebastian. What the hell? Do it for the fans.
I mean,
They don't want to. It's not
I
worth
know,
it to their
but-
sanity.
But it's like you said, life is a blink of an eye. You wake up one day,
Mhm.
it's over. Just do the fucking tour. Make him
Yeah.
go on his own damn bus and don't talk to him.
yeah.
I don't
Well,
know.
Dave and I were having the same conversation a little while ago. So I follow Ricky Rockman on social media. And he posted very recently that, time moves fast. That's kind of something I say a lot of the time. Time moves fast. And eventually, none of us will be here, right? So you should go out and see that band that you want to see, because you never know what's the last time that you're going to be able to see them. And at the same time, he's also of the mindset, well, go out and play with the people, the band, the band members that you haven't been playing with. Like, we've seen recently an awful lot of people who had major feuds come back together, Piercy and DeMartini, Tracy and Phil.
Yeah.
You could go on who've just
Guns N' Roses.
Guns N' Roses.
Not in this lifetime.
Yep. who have come back together and done this. So even though the band says, I don't think they're going to get back together as a band, like, you never know what's going to happen. Maybe somebody will have an epiphany, and at some point there'll be a show where they play together again. Who knows? But
Yeah.
Life is short, and go see those bands and go buy their merch, and because you never know when the last time is going to be the opportunity to see them.
Yeah, I mean, here's the deal. Not in this lifetime. How about $100 million? Yeah, fuck it. Let's do it.
Okay.
Sure.
Yeah.
One more time.
We know it's not about money for them, because they've repeatedly said, they don't live like major superstars. And
That's irresponsible, though. This is generational money. You have children, you have grandchildren, you have people that haven't been born yet. You set these people up for life by doing things that you sometimes don't want to do. It's
but
irresponsible.
who says they haven't, though? Like, they've done very well, and they've been careful with their investments and their money. And, I think their peace of mind is worth more than, money that they'll never spend.
These guys do not live like, rappers out there. They, they drive normal cars. They have normal houses. They don't go crazy with their money.
And they're happy and they're peaceful,
I did see an interview with Rachel where he said, though, don't get it twisted. The check isn't that big that they're offering to get back together with Sebastian. So,
yeah,
I mean,
and it's not. And, we have talked many times that, all of us think about back in the day when these guys were buying big mansions and driving, Lamborghinis or whatever it is that they bought. Nowadays, and I know just from working for a lot of these bands, they make way less than you think. And most of the money that they make comes directly from the merch that they sell, which is why I'm always saying, buy their licensed merch, buy their merch at their shows. That's how they make their money. So
yeah. That's how we make our money. So go buy a fucking mug or a t-shirt, you cheap fucks. Fucking tune in every week for free. Can't even buy a fucking coffee mug.
VVR.printify.me.
yeah. And,
Awesome.
To be fair, we just lost David Roach actually during the Spread Eagle show when it happened. And I had to run around and tell the promoter, hey, look what just happened. And, there's a lot of people. I saw a huge outpouring of love for this guy. And, I posted my photos. I've done merch for Junkyard before. Everybody had met him and taken photos with him and everything. And now there's people who didn't take the opportunity to see them, and they're kicking themselves like now there is no opportunity to see him.
Yeah.
Well,
So-
Lisa, when we did the back on the old show when we interviewed Patrick Mazingo, the drummer for Junkyard, I was telling him, you remember back in the day, like you started hearing about Junkyard because like Axl Rose was wearing a Junkyard shirt. You're like, who the fuck is that? Like they were the rock stars' favorite band. Like they were the bands that the bands liked.
And still to this day they are, because all the guys in the bands love them.
Yeah, that original Junkyard album is, it's 100 watts. One of my favorite albums of all times. I can still listen to it. And I don't think we've done the second one yet, right?
We have not.
We have not.
Oh, well, we will be.
Coming up soon.
Coming up very soon, perhaps. I was gonna do Enough's Enough next for my next one. But now I think I have to do that second Junkyard album.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, that was a big loss, and it was sad because he had just gotten married, and we had all thought he went home and he was going to have some time and he was going to get better and we were going to see him again. But from what I've been told from people on the inside, he went home to pass, to have palliative care. Yeah, and his wife is now heartbroken, and you can send her a message online and tell her how sorry you are that he's gone. It's been a time, so.
As a tribute to David Roach, I will be picking that second Junkyard album for my next pick. So there you go.
Okay. All right. So let's talk about them picking a singer, because Right now, Skid Row is basically using Lizzie Hale as kind of a fill-in singer. They haven't done a whole ton of shows since Eric left the band, but Lizzie has filled in, and she's been fantastic.
She's good for a girl.
Oh,
I'm joking. I'm fucking joking.
I'm
joking.
So they are being very careful about their choice. They need someone who's going to be able to sing the old songs and do the old songs justice, because these are some big shoes to fill. Eric was a powerful singer with a great voice who live could do every note on all of those songs and never miss beat, so those are big shoes to fill. They aren't willing to destroy peace for their paycheck. Let's face it, Eric was basically one of the most talented singer that they had in the band. So I think moving on from him is difficult for them. Sebastian singing for the band, as we all know, we've talked about this before. He had a lot of passion when he did the live performances, and I think what he did was he got so into the performance that the control and the discipline was just gone, and he couldn't hit those notes.
Mm-hmm.
And that was even in his heyday, in his top time.
Like that Wembley Stadium show where he is so coked out of his mind and doing he's like Richard Simmons running from end to end, and he's just out of gas. He just can't sing because he's so tired.
Yeah,
Still
and
cool,
the funny thing is remember, Sebastian did do Jesus Christ Superstar at one point. And if you go and you watch those recordings, it's not a rock concert, right? There's not 1,000 people screaming at him. He is controlled and disciplined, and he hits the notes. And I think that's the difference between the two. When he's in that moment and he's like, there's a huge crowd and everyone's screaming and, people have their lighters up, like he's into it and he loses himself.
He can't help himself.
Yeah.
He has as much raw vocal talent as any man that's ever walked the earth. I mean, whether he can pull it off live or not, go listen to the fucking records. I mean, it's right there to hear.
Yeah. And remember that Sebastian also had surgery in 2017. He had a hernia on his vocal cord, and that could have affected what he's doing now, for the past X amount of years. What has it been? 8 years since that surgery. I may be overly critical here because no one is who they were 30 years ago. We've all aged, but we still have singers out there that are doing great. We've got Tammy and Steven Tyler has been, he's still amazing. And I know that he has some issues, maybe can't do it every night now, but he's still incredible.
Yeah, he did great at the Ozzy concert.
Yeah. Tom Kiefer, Davey Vane.
Yeah.
Lots of people that are still singing with their, definitely have taken care of their instruments. Phil, obviously. Sebastian's not in that group, unfortunately. So, but I'll tell you what, he still sells out his shows, right? He's still, people are still happy to meet him and want to see him. So good for him, good for him.
He set the bar so high in his career, though. It's just so far to fall.
It really is. Yeah. So again, we said that Lizzie Hale didn't replace Eric as a full member. She's busy with her own stuff with Hailstorm. They have a new single, Darkness Always Wins, which was released on April 22nd, so a couple months ago. Their new album, Everest, will be released on August 8th, tomorrow. So I was going to say in a week, but that is tomorrow.
Timely now.
They're currently on tour. Their tour is called Neverest, to go with the album Everest, which I think is pretty cool. Volbeat and I think Lindsey Sterling will be opening in the U.S. And for their European tour, they're supported by Bloodywood and Kelsey Carter and the Heroines. They have tons of dates all the way through November. Obviously, she and her band played at the Back to the Beginning concert with Ozzy. They played a couple of their own songs. They played Perry Mason, and she sang Ultimate Sin with the first supergroup. I think they were called Supergroup A on the chart there. Lizzie was the only woman who performed at the show. I really miss Lita, obviously, but Lita did do a tribute shortly after on her own tour with her guitarist singing, I think it was, the Ozzy part. Yeah. Very sad. You could see her kind of cracking on that. So, yeah. In 2025, Eric joined German guitarist Michael Schechner for his European tour, celebrating his years with the British rock band UFO, who we just mentioned a minute ago with Rob DeLuca. Right? Yeah. His autobiography released this year as well, called Power Music, Death, Life, which talks about his journey from reality TV to Skid Row, via the Swedish band Heat, obviously, and his battles with his illness. He had leukemia. He actually joined Skid Row about 2 weeks after his last chemo treatment, and has had some trouble keeping his health together while on tour, often getting simple illnesses like the flu, which would take him out. The book is in Swedish language, so I can read it. Maybe you can't, but hopefully at some point they will release it in English. He also recorded a version of Europe's Final Countdown, and it is slow and dark and gothy, and it's basically piano and synth. It is
So they
beautiful.
basically just rip the fucking hook out of it.
It's beautiful. You have to see it. It's beautiful. It's on YouTube. And his YouTube and his Spotify have a ton of songs he covers, from everyone from like Whitney Houston to Motley Crue and Bon Jovi and Whitesnake, Kiss, and even like Sia's Chandelier. So he's across the board with his covers. So
Nice. Does he cover any fucking White Lion?
he absolutely does. Yes.
Oh God.
Oh no.
There's so many songs on there. You have to just go through them. He's really good.
I don't.
Yeah, that's all I got.
Awesome. All right. Good stuff.
This is the worst deja vu I've ever had. Let me just say that.
Now we're at an hour.
Lisa, did you check out the Power Man 5000 video I sent you?
I did.
How good is that? Isn't that
That's
great?
good. And
It
I'm
should
not
have
a
been
huge fan
bigger.
of them, but they were good. Yeah.
I mean, it's electronic. I figured it was
Yeah.
right up your alley.
It is,
should have
yeah.
been bigger. And then, of course, the damn video I sent you.
Oh, I love the Damned. Yeah.
But only in the 70s for me. Like once they go
Yeah.
into the 80s, it loses its punk flavor for me. That one song though, so fucking good. Okay, before we get into it, let's discuss the mothership. 3-1 Atlas is slowly making its way to Earth. Are you guys afraid?
Oh my God, no way. Please come and save us. I hope it's the aliens and they're finally going to right everything that's wrong on this Earth. Help.
They would have to come and just fucking basically eradicate all human life. So the
Well, you know what? That may not be a bad thing.
I'm fine with
That's
that.
fine.
Dude, I think that would be cool to be.
I'm on board.
Yeah, I want to be one of the humans that sees the end, front row seat to the end. And I hope it's by Alien Hand. Oh, that'd be so cool. Okay, anyway. It's looking
fucking
like
metal.
Dude, you know it's just a big rock.
Come and get us, please.
You know it's just a big rock, but they're really making it fun this time with all that.
Well, you know, if you watch some of the physics and the mathematical computations they're doing on its movement, it's got intelligence in its movement. So
listen, I've watched it all. Ari, the guy from Harvard, I've watched it all. I'm an aficionado on 3-1 Atlas. Okay, everything there is to know about that. And one more thing before we go on. So last week it came to so I love Kelly Leak, Bad News Bears, like toughest little guy ever. Rides a Harley Davidson, smokes, lights his cigarettes with what? A Zippo. So around my house, Delin and I have been running around the house going, Zippo, 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 because I told her about the story. So it turns out that Dave has a leather bound mahogany gold leaf collector's case filled with rare heavy metal Zippos that he's won in different carnivals throwing darts at balloons.
Carnivals.
he lights his Camel cigarettes with said Zippos. Dave, what is your go-to zip? What are you zipping right now?
I have a Fender guitar logo Zippo that I have earned from Fender Guitar from selling their products when I worked back at Daddy's Junkie Music in the guitar shop.
And what heavy metal lighters do you have in that mahogany, leather-bound, gold leaf collector's box?
Oh, I have the Fender. I have a couple other Fenders. I have, maybe a Gibson guitar lighter.
Come on, man, make up some Motley Crue and some Iron Maiden.
Dave can't have one of anything. He either has 0 or he has 37 of something.
That's true. In a row?
In a row?
It's true. It's true. There's never one of anything.
If you know, you know.
Yeah.
So I had revealed that I love the smell of a Zippo. I can just I love the way it smells, Dave. And you love the way it smells too, right?
I do. Yeah, it
Lisa.
affects the smoke.
So the last time I asked you, had you ever sniffed Dave's Zippo?
No.
You
Gross.
said no.
Ugh.
So we're going to do it right here
No.
live. Dave just
Oh,
sniffed
God.
a Zippo.
Oh, all right. Oh God, it's like sniffing propane.
Oh, it's so good.
My eyes
And-
are burning.
And propane accessories.
And propane. Oh my God, I put Dave through hell with the new
Dude.
King of the Hill. Let me just say that propane and propane accessories. My eyes are watering now.
We should see your face. It's all.
Oh no.
So
Holy shit.
no, get that thing away from me.
Do you like the
So
smell of gasoline?
let me ask you this: when you light
I
your
love it.
cigarette, like, are you inhaling that also?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Oh my God! No
Part of the
wonder
fun.
y'all die young.
Final question on the Zippo, because I was fascinated by the Zippo last week. I don't know why. Can you do it with one hand? Can you light it with one hand? The flick.
You
Oh,
did it.
that's so badass. That's so bad. That gets you laid right there. 16 years old, 1986. If you can light your Zippo with one hand, it's on like King Kong. Okay, I
Yep.
think we've done it.
Disgusting.
We've done it. We've done it.
Now I can't. I'm not going to be able to see for the rest of the episode here.
I'm definitely not getting laid tonight.
That does. I said 1986. Oh, okay. So let's rate the singer again. And this will be the third time I've rated Sebastian Bach.
God
Jesus.
damn it.
As always, it's 1 through 100, 25 on hair, 25 on style and stage presence, and 50% on vocal talent. I am going to make this very quick and simple. It's 100 for me, period. Dave.
All right. I'm sure we've said before some of the best hair in the biz. Sebastian didn't really change anything from the first album. His hair still looked great. I'm giving him a 23. For style, he looked cool. He had the moves, but we're going to subtract some points for the missteps. The onstage bottle throwing incident in Springfield, Massachusetts, and especially that poor choice in t-shirt designs that we didn't talk about last episode. 17.5.
Oh, that t-shirt was gnarly.
Yeah.
Lisa.
The vocal talent, I still got some more.
I was going to Lisa for her thoughts on him whipping a bottle off a young teenager's face.
I told you last time I was at that concert.
Yes, that's why I went to you.
And I saw him get hit, but I didn't see like where the bottle came from. I just saw him get hit, and then he just picks it up and just whips it back in the crowd. And none of us thought anything of it at the time. Like, I couldn't, like, I was on the other side of the stage. I couldn't see like who got hit, but there was no commotion. There was no like separation to help the person that got hurt, but she got pretty severely injured.
Yeah, a lot of stitches.
Yeah, like hundreds of stitches, and there was a big settlement.
Yeah.
But it was just a moment in that concert. The concert kept going. Nowadays, if something like that happened, the concert would have ended, and they would have emptied the venue, and it would have been done. So
yeah, no, they found her after the last song. Everybody just used her as a step to see the stage better.
I wouldn't be surprised because there was no movement in that area. I just thought he threw the bottle and he didn't hit anyone, or that it maybe hit someone on the shoulder or something, and it didn't seem like a big deal to me. But then the news later that night, and oh my God, so.
What a douche, though. And
MTV.
I said it last time. It was almost a carbon copy of when Axel went after the guy that was taking pictures.
Yeah.
But instead of Axel whipping his like mic stand or his mic into the crowd, he
jumped
dropped it
in,
and
right?
went in and fucking started
Yeah.
punching the guy in the face.
Yeah.
Fine line between fucking cool and assault, brother.
Yeah.
Sorry, Dave. Keep going.
It's okay. Sebastian's vocal talent at the time was almost unmatched. Great singing. He had the benefit of experience from their first album and tour. Sure, live in concert, he was still a little flat on a few notes, but recorded on the album, great work. 43 on the vocal. On their first album, I gave Sebastian an 83. I think he topped his performance on this second album. My score is 83.5.
I like it. Lisa.
Oh gosh. So the last time I was very focused on how pretty he was and how, as great his hair was, and he was in every magazine. We had the cheekbones and, the jawline. I mean, this was the prettiest guy in metal at the time, right? not much has changed, since that time, but I would say that he was hardening his look already. He didn't have any product in his hair, where he did. He wasn't teasing his hair in their first album, but he still had product in it. Now the product is gone. He was dressing a little bit rougher, more metal and less glam, but he still had that edge. He was still wearing leather pants. He was still wearing the spike-toed boots. The band was at the time starting to go grunge, right? We had some flannels and blue jeans and things like that. Sebastian never stepped into that arena, actually, until much more recently. Every once in a while, you'll see him nowadays in jeans and a flannel, but back in the day, you would have never seen him in that. Still was wearing no shirt all the time. Still was his like very tall, gangly, skinny self. However, his attitude and he yeah, like he had to be the center of anything, both then and now, right?
Yeah.
So like I saw a recent video of him where he had one of those Ace guitars, Ace from Kiss.
Ace Frehley.
Yeah, Ace Frehley, and the guitar has smoke like coming out of the bridge or whatever.
Yes.
Okay, so he had one of those guitars, and he's standing there with his band behind him, the three guys, and these are young guys. You can tell they're like in their early 20s, and they're standing behind him, and he's waving the guitar around. Look how cool this is, and he's not playing the guitar. He's not. I mean, he plays a little guitar, but he wasn't playing this guitar, and he's just whipping it around, right? And he turns around to who is his guitar player, and he's like, "Hey, do you want to try it?" And I'm like, "Oh, finally, we're gonna get some guy, to see him play it." And the video ends.
That's so bad.
Because the whole video had to be about him, right?
Sure.
So, like, I don't like that attitude.
He's the star.
Yeah, and he obviously, I had a run-in with him when I was underage. I had a run-in with him when I was of age, and neither of them were pleasant. He's very aggressive. I'm just gonna say that.
Nice.
And
Douche.
yeah, and I never got that from any of the other guys. The other guys were just cool and friendly and warm and nice guys. Never got that. So
Give Uncle Sebastian a big hug.
Yeah. So between that and his social media activities, if we had to score him today, right, it would be a lot lower. But back then, I'm going to say in 91, he was better for me than he was in 89. And so I have to give him a higher score than I gave him last time. So this time I'm giving him a 96.4.
Nice. Lisa, please add up those scores and tell us where he lands on the list.
Okay, so Sebastian Bach for Slave to the Grind in 1991 is 93.30 total score. That puts him at number 3, knocking himself out of number 3 into number 4 for the first album, the self-titled album, and just below Ozzy Osbourne.
Nice. Dude, I was watching TV the other night and I watched this show where these guys make these giant tables for rich people out of like wood. Like these giant pieces of wood. These are like super expensive. So fucking Paul Stanley ordered a table. And when they came to deliver it to him, he's wearing this hoodie sweatshirt that zips up. He's got it zipped down to like his fucking belly button with his
Of course he does.
Paul Stanley chest out. He's like, "Hey boys, bring that table on in here." Dude, it was so creepy. I just wanted to pet it like a kitten.
Was that one of those tables where they have like the colored glass running through the big, beautiful piece of wood or something?
Yes, it's like resin. It's like resin.
Yes, wow. Beautiful. Yeah.
Maybe you can touch my
chest hair. Maybe you could put some of my hair in that resin.
Don't give them that idea. They'll be selling like resin tables with Paul Stanley's chest hair in them. Good God.
All right. So there you go. Let's do some quick opening thoughts on this and then we'll break it down. So I am obviously very familiar with this album, but I have not sat down and listened to it in its entirety as a bottle of work, as a body of work in several years. So I was very excited to listen to this one. The question is for me, really, was it better than the debut album? Let's find out. Dave.
Well, I got this album when it came out on cassette. I was already a Skid Row fan, so there was no question I was picking this one up. I did not like it as much as their first album, but it was still cool. Definitely rocked this one in the Monte Carlo. This came out the summer going into my senior year in high school, and I loved it.
So Dave, we went through this last week. Monte Carlo SS, Black Boxy Cool, or Monte Carlo Ragman from Trick or Treat?
It was the standard Monte Carlo. I had my mom's 84 Monte Carlo, baby blue. Some asshole ran into me and totaled it.
Aw.
And then after that, I got a maroon 1986 Monte Carlo. It was still the standard model, but it was still fucking cool.
2-door or 4-door?
2-door, man. Come on. I don't think there was a 4-door.
What color was it?
Maroon.
Oh, the worst color, though. You should have just
No.
said black. Dave, there's no evidence
was
you can say
cool.
black. Was it maroon?
Maroon.
Yeah.
Wouldn't you call that blood red or something cooler than maroon?
Something better than maroon. Just say
It was
blood
dark red.
Okay, I like. Oh, wow, that's nice.
I never had the SS.
Jesus. Dude, I don't even know where we are in this show now. Lisa, what are we doing? Opening thoughts?
For me, yeah, it's my turn.
Go
now.
ahead.
Okay. So obviously I've heard this before. I bought the album the day it came out. Skid Row was one of my favorite bands back in the day. I was over the moon to hear this album. I have worn out countless copies of this on tape, on CD, you name it. I have a lot of memories attached to this album. My old high school friends, my brother, a horrible relationship breakup, getting ready to graduate high school, go to college. And I would spend during this time a lot of time heads down doing homework and schoolwork, because I was a huge nerd and did very well in school. And, when you do that, you listen to music, right? So this was always kind of playing in the background. I had long since moved out of my parents' house, so I was able to blast this at any time that I wanted. There was kind of a freedom associated with this album for me because I was on my own, for the first time. Plus, it was metal and not glam. And I was definitely, in that mindset. The goth, the black metal was big for me then. So this was a nice switch for me. I was really happy that they weren't getting lost in that poor version of glam metal that was in 1991 from like Mr. Big and all of those bands that were coming out. I was thrilled that they were going in a different direction. I thought, to me, that meant that they were going to survive, right, the death of glam. And unfortunately, even they didn't survive it. So, we know, and I've said it before, Dez has said it before, this is the best metal vocal ever recorded on this album. He wasn't able to do this song live very well, which we'll talk about in a little bit. Obviously, I've seen this band more than any band, maybe save LA Guns. I don't know who I've seen more. And I, of course, intend to see them more as they come out. But, my memories of this from back in the day were that the live version of the band back in the day felt a little different because of Sebastian's kind of touch and go performances. And there were some nights, I'll tell you, where I saw them back in the day where he had great performances, but it wasn't every time. So.
Some nights.
Yeah.
Inconsistent.
You're lucky if you've seen Skid Row like once in a lifetime. Maybe Lisa's like, well, on the 89 tour, there were several shows where Lisa, first car, what was it?
Oh, geez. I had a 1973 Nova in gold, earwax gold. And the front of it looked like
a muscle car.
Yeah, it looked like a smiling. So that was my mom's car. And
Nice.
it was the front of the car had a smiling grill. It looked like the car was smiling. But my mom had hit a pole and it was missing a tooth. So
it's from Charlestown.
Yeah, I loved that car. I didn't care. Yeah.
Nice.
Oh, God. Funny, my first car was also a shitty green Chevy Nova.
No, that's weird. Really?
Yeah, that was my first car,
wow.
shitty green Chevy Nova. But since then, I have owned many, many cool cars. I've owned a pair of black 78 black and gold Trans Ams, the Bandits. I've owned a couple of really nice Corvettes. I had a British Racing Green one. I had a yellow one, convertible, that was fucking awesome. And I
had a
presently
Corvette
drive.
Too. That's weird.
You did? What'd you have?
Yeah, I had a Stingray, a red Stingray. It was a gift. I drove it off a bridge and it shattered like a glass.
She drove over. My wife fucking destroyed my yellow one. Like, literally, I remember the flatbed truck pulling up in front of the house and went, please don't let that be what I think it is. I looked out the window. I was like, oh my God, is my wife still alive?
They shatter like glass. They were the
Yes.
most dangerous cars.
Yes.
Wow.
Super fast because they're so light.
Yeah.
I'll have you guys know I've owned both a PT Cruiser and a Toyota Corolla.
Oh God.
Now, do you listen to White Lion when you're driving a PT Cruiser?
I did not.
So I presently have a very special car. It's only made for 3 years. It's a Mini Cooper R58. It's the only 2-seat Mini Cooper. It's a racing car. It has cutouts in the ceiling, so if you want to wear a racing helmet, you can. It's a 6-speed standard, and it is fucking badass. It's so fast. I love it. It's fucking gunstock silver with black racing stripes. It's fucking badass.
I have a friend that only will drive Mini Coopers, and she always gets the manual one and loves them so much. It's like it's a lifestyle, as I understand. So,
but this is the R58. And when I went, I wanted one, and there was only one, and it was in New Jersey near Vintage Vinyl Records. They literally only made like a handful of these. It was when the guy who invented Mini Cooper got big enough, they said, we're going to let you do one vanity project. And he invented the R58, and they just made a few, and that was it. And I found mine up in Beverly, Mass. It was the only one in all of Massachusetts. And then the only other one was up in Jersey. But I like the way this one looked the best. So there you go.
Nice. I drive an electric car, so everybody hates me.
Is it a Tesla?
Yeah. No, it's a Subaru.
She says no.
It's a Subaru.
Fuck no.
Yeah.
Is it a Tesla with a Doge bumper sticker?
No. It's a pretty rare Subaru. They only made a few of mine too. So there's only when I bought it, there was only 3 of them in the state. So
I actually had a Mini Cooper before this Mini Cooper, and I was taking a left into a job, and some old lady who literally had like Alzheimer's. She was like, she didn't even know where the fuck she was. She tried to cross the double lines to pass me on the left side as I was taking a right. She torpedoed my little Mini Cooper. It fucking exploded. The airbags didn't go off. Nothing. I thought I died. I literally thought I died. I stepped out of the car and there was like nothing left of it. And I don't have a scratch on me. And I went, am I dead? Is this it? I go looking for God. Like, is this it? Are we going up to heaven now? No, I just got lucky for some reason. I walked away from it. Yeah.
That's
crazy.
wild.
Yeah.
Yes.
Take the new ride up to the racetrack.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Okay. So lots of extra information tonight.
Yeah. See, this is what our After Dark episodes are going to be like.
That's
so.
right. More than you wanted to know.
Yeah.
I'm sure more than you wanted to know. Shows like a hand through Paul Stanley's chest.
Let me say, because of you guys, whenever I scroll my Facebook or Instagram now, like more than half of the ads and stuff that I see are for Kiss and Kiss albums and Paul Stanley. And I blame you guys because I don't listen to that stuff.
We've ruined your Facebook.
You've ruined it. My algorithm is just
and all
busted.
of your Facebooks out there.
Oh shit, that's so awesome.
It used to be all like goth and synth and all. Nope, now it's just crap.
Paul Stanley. Lisa loves Paul Stanley.
That's right.
So that's it. We are going on to the tracks now. Yes.
To the songs. Yes.
There's an album to listen to here.
We're an hour and a half in.
I'm shooting for 4 hours tonight. I'm going to work tomorrow. Okay. So let's get into it. Tracks and thoughts. Track number 1 is The Monkey Business. So again, I feel so stupid doing this again because you already know what I thought about it. Do you guys really want to know?
I'm so surprised.
We want to know.
So this intro was very dynamic. Going from the single right side guitar and vocal into Sebastian's huge scream. You know, it ushers into the production of the album. Michael Wagner, huge production, sounds great. Sebastian's coming with a whole nother vibe on this album. The 2 guitars break in, you know, they sound so smooth. They're delivered in perfect stereo. I can hear every note each guy is playing. Really, really enjoyable to listen to the whole album. Lyrics and riffs here, they're really great. Then we get this killer breakdown verse thing filled with great bass licks. I love this track, and I am going to just point this out because I did last week. For 100 shows, I don't know. I've written a million songs. I played in a million bands. I was calling the pre-chorus a bridge, and I was calling the bridge like a cool music thing. Interlude. So no, none of that's true. Lisa came in. She's like, the pre-chorus, and then this is a bridge. I'm like, that's not what that is. And then I'm like, but she knows everything. She's an alien. So I Googled it, and sure as shit, a bridge is a piece of music that strings pieces of the song together. A pre-chorus is the vocal section going into the chorus. So if you listen to any of our shows before this one, anytime I said bridge, I meant pre-chorus. And anytime I said musical thing, I meant bridge. So there you go. Fucking idiot. Dave.
Definitely saw this video back in the old days. This was the first single from the album written by Rachel and Snake. According to Wikipedia, the song did not appear on the US Billboard Hot 100. It reached number 13 on the album Rock Tracks chart. The song also charted at number 19 in the UK singles chart. Video is all black and white except for the shot of the monkey in the beginning, filmed at a field or maybe an abandoned lumber yard next to the New Jersey Turnpike. That's what it looks like to me. Anyway,
Near Vintage Vinyl Records.
sure. That is very close to the Turnpike. Some of the video is shown in negative, very 90s. Great cowbell in the song, of course. Rapid fire lyrics are pretty cool if you read them. It's pretty hard to pick them up just by listening. This is definitely way harder than their first album. Whoa, we change to color in the video during the bridge.
Technical.
And Sebastian singing using a road flare as a microphone. Did they adopt the monkey after the video shoot? Reading the lyrics, I just discovered the background vocals say, "Monkey business ain't your business." I always thought it was "ain't show business." Whoopsie. I've played this song live in bands, and I'm going to have to change that next time I play the song.
I can't believe you've been singing
Ain't
it wrong.
your business.
Have you been singing that?
He's been singing it wrong.
I've been singing "ain't show business." Nobody said anything to me. I don't know.
It's that Jersey accent. Ain't show business.
Ain't show business.
Like nacho cheese.
Yes.
That's right. It's nacho cheese.
It's nacho cheese.
And I never noticed he was singing it wrong, by the way. I'm just going to say that.
There you go.
It's because the rest of the band knew the lyrics.
Yeah, maybe, yeah. Okay, so seriously, did you change your notes for this? Because
I have not.
I seriously don't remember anything of that from before. It feels like a new thing. So maybe I wasn't paying any attention to you at all.
Anything new.
So yeah.
You weren't paying attention.
I wasn't paying attention.
You never pay attention.
I riffed on mine a little bit.
Yeah. Sorry. Monkey Business, one of the greatest album openings of my young life. Amazing isolation in the guitar and the vocals, followed by my favorite metal scream of all time. I remember hearing this and knowing that Skid Row had definitely changed. This album is so much harder than the first album. We get some cowbell, a good use of cowbell. Interesting delivery on the lyrics. Sebastian usually has some pretty clear lyrics, but in this song, there are some runs in the verses where everything kind of just melts together and is completely unintelligible. And I've actually seen some singers play this song, sing this song, and just go for that part of it. Like they just don't even sing the words. Yeah, I don't know. If you read the lyrics, they're pretty creative. I have no idea how they came up with it. It's not a mishmash of words the way White Zombie was a couple of shows ago. It's really like an intelligent story. You can hear it especially in the bridge, which brings the song down to a slow tempo. And but Sebastian is all, I've got him as bass in my notes. So bass almost whispering, the Vaseline gypsies and silicone souls dressed to the society. Everything about this is amazing. And then he just explodes out of the bridge with another metal scream. And he sings that there's a little part and he does a lot of these vocal tricks where to me it's just monkey business. And then he goes, "Get back." And it's just a little, it probably wasn't even written in the lyrics and he just kind of added it in. Amazing. I love it. Ridiculous hook in this song. We get the gang vocals and we have a different setup here because usually what you get is the gang vocals at one part and bass answers back with the varying lines, but usually you get the reverse of that, right? Usually you get the band with the varying lines and the singer doing the hook, and it's mixed in this song. So I like that. Great guitar solo here from Dave, fits perfectly into the song. Much more metal than the glam stuff from before. And we have the play out with bass singing those long sustained notes and speaking this cheeky little lyric at the end. Don't give me no business, baby. And it's okay that he said baby in this song. yeah, it's just a headbanging, fist pumping classic. And the video, by the time this came out, I was a pretty busy person. I wasn't just sitting around watching MTV, but this must have got a lot of play because I did manage to catch it back in the day. The black and white images of the van, Sebastian with his hair, just no product in his hair, and it's just kind of like flowing behind him, and he's tall and skinny, and he's got his black leather pants and black leather studded, and he's got a studded cod piece. I don't know if you saw that in there, but he's wearing a studded cod piece.
Yeah, I
Love
saw it.
it.
That chick is ugly. she's gross.
Oh my god! And my comment is they're playing out in the desert in a rough field, and Dave's like, "Oh no, they're just in a field, some parking
vacant
lot in
lot.
New
It's like a
Jersey,
vacant lot.
right?" No, and I'm
We're in
thinking
the
like, "Wow,
Sahara
it's
Desert."
so cool." Yeah. When the bridge comes in, the video switches to color. It looks a little post-apocalyptic, but let's be fair, who could have hair like that in the apocalypse? Absolutely no one. I just love seeing the guys so young. They live in my memories like this. Obviously, today they're older, but like seeing them as like kids is just fun for me. So.
Yeah, see, before I worked out the whole bridge fucking pre-chorus thing, I would have been like, Lisa, that's not where that happens in the fucking song.
Right.
Yes, it is.
What do you mean?
You're totally
It was
right,
much
though.
later.
That first
Yeah.
album, Sebastian was so much more like deliberate and like calculated, and like they
Yeah.
had his leash short. They're like, we
Yeah.
want this album perfect.
Yeah.
And in this one, you're hearing way more of him just riffing, like you said,
Yeah.
going for things loose. And they're like, yeah, just go for it. Go ahead.
Mhm.
Doesn't have to
Yeah,
be perfect.
they let him go and it worked.
Yeah, it totally did. It definitely, like I said on the last version of this podcast, he was like definitely channeling a little David Lee Roth here,
Oh yeah,
like
absolutely.
with his style. Like he doesn't not like sounding anything like Dave. I mean, just being like,
The
here I am.
cheekiness.
The
Yeah.
cheekiness, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yep.
Track number 2, Slave to the Grind. So I noticed right away on this one, great uptick pace on this track. They really kick it up a notch. We get this slightly darker lower register from Sebastian. And this one is filled with some of my favorite Skid Row lyrics. We get a sick solo on this one. And I honestly felt an elevation in the solos on this whole album from the first album, like a step up. They just felt cleaner. They felt more technical, especially from Scotty. This is another great track. The album's off to a great start. Dave.
All right. The song was the second single from the album. I think maybe this should have been track 1 on the album. The boldness and punch in the face you'd want to lead off your record with. Monkey Business is a fine choice, but this Slave to the Grind would have hit harder, maybe too hard, and that's why they didn't do it. The song's pretty badass. The video features the band performing in a warehouse. Snake's Flying V and Scotty's Red Spectre guitar are both awesome. The title track reached number 43 on the UK singles chart.
Dave, kind of reminds me of that rehearsal video, actually, right?
Yeah, a little bit.
A little bit. Like,
in
guys
that industrial warehouse.
Yeah. Lisa.
So obviously this is the title track. Sebastian has a writing credit on this song, along with Rachel and Dave, which I think is his only writing credit on this album. He did have one on the previous album as well, only one, which was Making a Mess. I think that was the song he had the writing credit on the previous album. So we've got a very metal opening, borders on speed metal for me. Probably not fast enough to be considered speed metal like BPM wise, but the riffs are there and the feel is there. We get a deep vocal from Sebastian to start, which is not his normal register before he goes into the pre-chorus. I love the hook in this song. Love, love, love it. Can't be king of the world if you're a slave to the grind. Interesting arrangement here. We hear the bridge twice, once before and once after the guitar solo. I love the first one where he just takes off into this scream with like verbal insecticide. He just like kind of screams as the guitar solo is coming into the production. We get a pure metal guitar solo here from Dave. It's almost as if we have a completely different energy than the first album. This is a great angry song, one that's great in an arena, worthy of a mosh pit, maybe even. And this is not a band you would think of when you think of mosh pits. Nice ending on this one with the guitar screeches to end the song. We do have a video. I love the opening shot of Rachel in the bandana in a cage hanging from the ceiling. And we get Sebastian in what looks like the corner like mental hospital, like he should be wearing a straitjacket. But if you look really close, the white background, he isn't really just in a corner with a white background like in mental hospital. It's actually, he's in the warehouse and they've used effects to blow out the background and kind of give the video a different look. We get some very 90s graphics with the knives and the nooses and the animated brick wall that Sebastian punches through. Looks kind of like a bad 90s video game, but like still was fun back in the day. Lots of shirtless shots of Sebastian. He was in his prime at this time visually and vocally in the studio. I'm noticing that the first album videos really favored Sebastian. But now in this album, we get a lot of Sebastian, but we finally get a longer look at the rest of the band, particularly Rachel swinging in in the cage above. And I wonder if they let him out for lunch. So
Maybe not.
Yeah.
I mean, any guy or girl, I guess, out there that, is a 40-hour week grinder, a blue collar worker that works with their hands and their back, like myself, fucking work so hard you come home and you die on the couch for 2 hours after work, can really relate to the chorus of this song. I think this song is very relatable.
That's right. And they actually did the song in supposedly one take. This was the demo, actually, what you hear on the record. According to Wikipedia, during a February 2017 interview for the Backspin segment of Yahoo Music, vocalist Sebastian Bach revealed that the version of the title track included in the finished album is actually the original demo that the band recorded during pre-production with producer Michael Wagner. The band recorded a proper version during the album sessions, but were unable to match the intensity and therefore opted to use the demo. Michael Wagner's appearance on the Decibel Geek podcast, shout out to those guys. Please check them out. They are awesome. Confirmed the story about the demo being used for this song. He said, Slave to the Grind is from the demo session. It was recorded and mixed in an hour, and that's what you're hearing on the record. 1 hour it was recorded. Everything is live on there.
Blew my mind when you told me that. I couldn't believe it.
Yeah, that is crazy. And one last little tidbit, according to a 2016 interview with Sebastian on showbizjunkies.com, when filming the video, the record company sent a lady model to the video shoot to appear as eye candy in the video. But the idea was vetoed by the band. Here is what he said in regards to having to say no a lot in his job. You can do the due to the video Slave to the Grind by Skid Row. When we showed up there, they had this chick in a bikini. She was supposed to be in the video like a groupie. I go, she's not going to be in the video. Everybody's mad. I go, that's not what the song's about. We don't need to have hot chicks. That's not what we're doing. I had to cause a big scene. I said, no, we're not doing that kind of video. That shit's tired. The director came and goes, you're right. That's good that you say things like that. At the time, you don't want to piss people off or make them mad, but that's what separated Skid Row from some of the other bands at the time. Our videos weren't objectifying cherry pie with a piece of pie in the crotch. I would say no to shit like that all the time.
Good call, because that was the fucking kiss of death at this point. You do that and you are done. I can really, it's funny, I said that it blew my mind that this was the demo, but it really doesn't, Dave. And as a musician and a songwriter yourself, how many times you demoed something up and it's so good, and then you go into a way better studio to redo it, and you just can never capture that song again.
Oh yeah, you can't match it.
Like, it's funny because it's almost never happens, but I did a song called That Girl, and I did it on my 8-track, and it came out really good. I loved it, but it was an 8-track and the production just wasn't there. So I did it in a bigger studio, did much, much better work. I did it with a local guy here. I'm not going to mention him right now, but it came out so good. And I remember after it was mixed, he said, "You got the demo. You did it. You got the demo." And yeah, honestly, without his amazing musical ability, mixing abilities, bass playing, and piano playing, I could not have accomplished that level of success with that song. But if you're interested in hearing it, go over to my YouTube channel and check it out. It's called That Girl, and it came out fucking great. So there you go.
Nice.
Lisa,
What's your YouTube channel?
I don't know.
It's called Dez. It's just Dez.
It's not.
Dez.
No, it's not. It's not, though. You can't find it if you just put in Dez. But I think if you put in That Girl by Dez, it'd probably come up.
Okay.
I don't remember what the name of the fucking YouTube channel is, like a meatball, but you could find it. You know, type in Tattooed Mona Lisa by Dez, and that'll take you to my channel, and then you can fucking listen to all the other videos that are on there. 100 songs. So there you go. Lisa, it's your turn, correct?
No, it's Dave's turn.
Is it Dave's turn? What are we talking about?
I
The
just
third
talked.
song. Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Did you only say like one line? Like what happened?
I said a bunch of stuff. We're on song 2.
We've
Now
just-
it's time for song number 3.
Okay, song 3. So
Des, talk about song number 3, The
yeah,
Threat.
it's your turn, Des.
You sure, Lisa? You talked
Yes.
about that last song? Okay,
Yes,
The
I
Threat.
did. Yeah.
I threw in some shit at the end.
Oh, okay. I think you threw me a curveball. You got lost there. The charm of the song The Threat for me is that it's a little grittier and heavier than the other songs on this album. And also, strangely, the hook is one perfectly placed vocal line that's not even in the chorus. When he screams the line, "Came to make me smile pretty for the wrecking ball," it is absolute, as the kids say today, fire. This is fire. This fucking one line carries the entire song. This hook is so strong, and it's got a great chorus too. Didn't need it, but oh man, do I love it. And finally, we get a solo that feels like it came off the first album for me, with the addition of a very technical run that I thought was very impressive. So I like this song. It was a little new Skid Row, a little old Skid Row. It was just fucking awesome. Dave.
The riff and the groove gets us back to kind of the signature Skid Row sound. We hear some big high notes in the vocal, and it's definitely a solid album track.
Nice. Yeah, I was asleep 10 minutes before we did this episode. That's why we don't record these episodes after work anymore.
Yeah.
Lisa, I'm demented now. I'm drinking my
I'm losing you guys. It's all falling apart.
We started off so strong. Cafex.
was.
If you're trying to quit coffee, drink Cafex.
Yeah.
Okay. This one's still metal, but we're maybe getting some glam adjacent guitar riffs here. Whatever it is, I'm loving it. I guess you guys are calling it going back to their signature sound. I think you're right about that. Vocals are clear on this song. There's no question what he's saying. Not muddy like the first song. And I'm not saying the muddiness was bad. It was an artistic choice. I get it. This has a great pre-chorus, and of course, as Des said, my favorite line, "To make me smile pretty for the wrecking ball." I really love how Sebastian chooses certain lyrics to drag out and twist with his metal screams and growls for others. And the way it's kind of from his interviews, he said that that's the way that he put his mark on songs that were mostly written by Dave and Rachel, and it worked really well.
Meaning completely written by Dave and Rachel.
Yeah. Well, you did point out that I was kind of wrong. It's not, the first song was not the only, or the second song was not the only song that he has a writing credit on this album. He has a couple more writing credits that from the first album that I missed.
But still.
Yeah. Yeah. True.
Yeah.
Nice lyrics in this song, not minimizing yourself to keep society comfortable. We get a guitar solo that's a little more glam here. You can hear edges of shreddiness alongside the metal, and it works, especially when the key changes just for a second before the pre-chorus. I love my favorite line this time is sung at the absolute highest of Sebastian's range into the play out. Good hooks here. We've got "Threat to Society" as a hook. We've got the name of, with the name of the song, but I think there's actually a couple more hooks in this song. It's like we get more than one hook for the same price and a nice stick ending. So
Yeah, I mean, my ADHD, I struggle to focus for the entire show. As you guys know, I start wandering off. But at this point, I was literally like thinking about a Three's Company episode I watched the other day. I was like, oh, wait, we're doing a podcast. Come back, come back. Okay, Quicksand Jesus, track number 4. So we're going to get our first power ballad here. And this one for me, it's good, but it's not great. It's pushing Sebastian's range. And yeah, he handles it. I mean, he's a great singer. He's got all the range in the world. But I can hear the effort, the extra effort that he's putting in on this song. And I can hear the strain that it's putting on him. It's one of the only times I've ever listened to one of his songs and kind of been on the edge of my seat, like, is he going to get there? And he does get there. He does, but it's just, I don't like feeling that feeling when I'm listening to Skid Row. The hooks, they're good, but they're not great. I'd say in the catalog of Skid Row ballads, this one is not challenging for the top spot, in my opinion. But like I said last time, most bands would be lucky to have this on their album as their power ballad. It's really good, and that just shows you, the level of writing these guys achieve. Dave.
The song was single number 5 off the album in Japan. A very moody and dark opening. The song, I feel like, is mixed a little weird. I think it's Scotty's electric guitar in the soft part that is louder than everything else, including the lead vocal. Things get more balanced when the song kicks up in intensity. Even reading the lyrics, I'm not sure what this is about, but Sebastian's high notes at the end are amazing. I am pretty sure I've never seen this video. There's like fireworks and birds projected over Sebastian's face. The live concert shots with all the lighters lit up in the crowd are awesome. Cell phone flashlights held up nowadays just do not look as cool as lighters out in the crowd.
This is where I uncovered the Zippo information last week.
That's right.
Yeah.
Lisa.
So first low tempo song on the album. I hesitate to call this a power ballad because I feel like power ballad has the feeling of sticky sweet love song, and this is absolutely not that. Dave and Rachel have matured and stepped away from the formulaic power ballads of the late 80s, which, let's be fair, they were masters of that too. So they've taken their slow tempo songs to a completely different direction, full of pain and societal commentary and grief and anger. No one else was doing this at the time. The lyrics on this and all the other slow tempo songs on this album are written by Dave and Rachel, but Sebastian has made some statements about this song. He says it's about losing your faith in God, but Dave and Rachel have said that's completely wrong. It's about holding your faith even in the bad times. They grew up Catholic and have said that this song was a reminder that people sort of forget about their faith in the good times and are deeply faithful when they're asking for help in the bad times. But you need to have your faith in both times. They used to ride dirt bikes, and there was a busted Jesus statue in Snake's mom's flower garden. The garden was right before, this is a quote, the garden was right before we took off to go riding on the trail. And every time it rained, Jesus sank. We called it Quicksand Jesus. And if you wrecked on the trail, we would joke, you forgot to touch Quicksand Jesus on your way in. So that's funny.
Okay.
Rachel says this is his favorite song he ever wrote for Skid Row, and that he and Dave had a lot of back and forth on the lyrics, so it took an extremely long time to finish this song. Beautiful opening to the song with the acoustic run and Sebastian's sweet voice. Doesn't sound like anything else. There's no copying this. There's no emulation. He's not trying to be anyone else. This is just a unique version of Sebastian's voice. He hits the high notes here cleanly with zero grit in his voice, sustaining those notes like someone with training in singing. Which he did have, but without the control. He puts it all out there on the table. Great for us, but maybe not so great for his instrument in the future. Those beautiful notes in the chorus, how he trains the melody a little different each time, is masterful. Great emotional, heartfelt guitar solo here. Scotty really puts his all into this one. It's not showy, it's just perfectly written. We don't get the hook until the post-chorus play out of the song, and wow, is it a great hook? I can't tell, and I said this before, I can't tell if it's Sebastian's voice layered on top of itself going into higher registers, or if maybe there was a female voice. I believe we confirmed it was not a female voice. There's definitely just Sebastian's voice kind of layered in there. If you watch this live, when they do it live, Scotty sings with Sebastian on these parts where it feels like there's layering in the vocals. Perhaps Scotty also has a higher register voice. I'm not entirely sure. So much emotion in the play out of this song, from his sustained notes, the crying guitar second solo. I don't want this one to fade out. I want it to just keep going. But to be fair, the fade out ending was perfect here rather than a stick ending. Definitely stadium lighter worthy, as we see in the video. It's a black and white video with a storyline. We get some live shots with the lighters. Dave is smoking on stage, which is not something that you see normally today. I really love to see the live shots of, a real concert here. It brings me back to seeing them so many times live. A side note, the band has obviously gone grunge at this point. They're all wearing flannels and jeans. There's goatees, except for Sebastian, who is still shirtless in leather pants. They were never a band to wear costumes, and they still aren't. So
Cool. Fun fact, between 1997 and 2003, I raced motocross, racking up several wins and several podiums in my time. And I have a nice little shrine set up to myself in my house with some of my old race helmets, one of my old number plates, all my trophies. It's a little shrine to me.
I think Pink used to race with you too, right? It was a whole thing with all you guys, wasn't
raced bicycles.
Yes, bicycles.
Motorcycles. So
right.
Little
Okay.
difference there. And Pink actually was doing the BMX at a much higher level. I think Pink was almost pro, if not pro. I was amateur, so I never did that. But I did race, Worcester Centrum, raced at the Pepsi Arena in Connecticut. I did some stuff. I got around the track.
There's some great video out there of you doing that, if I understand correctly. So.
There's a video of me jumping a enormous jump for a bunch of people and coming up short and breaking my arm.
Oh gosh!
No. Yes, it's a huge jump. I mean, it was fucking gigantic, like fifth gear pin. That was fucking way up there, and I came up short. Shit. Yeah, I clipped the edge of the landing and snapped my wrist. Fucking went over the bars.
Oh.
It's funny because actually the guy that lived upstairs where he shot the video, and right before I went around, I hit the jump probably 6-7 times. There was this crowd of people just watching down at this fucking track we used to go to. It was a big step up double. And right before I did it this last time for the camera, I said, "No broken bones."
Oh, see, you jinxed yourself.
I was off to the emergency room for a nice cast that I wore all summer. Okay, track number 5, Psycho Love. So this one is intriguing to me. It's got these little tempo changes, got all these little dynamic parts in it. We talked about this last time, how it's kind of written around Rachel's bass lines. Really good stuff here. Again, we get this step up in guitar solos, and the lyrics are super dirty. Unfortunately, this one kind of lacked the big hook for me. Like, just didn't really have a hook, but it was a great song. And you were saying about, the solo in the last song, Lisa. Dave, how loud Scotty was in the last song. I felt like this might have been Scotty's like coming out party on this, because he definitely like stepped his game up for this album. Talk about it.
Well, this one was written by Rachel alone. A September 19th, 1991 Rolling Stone article says, according to Bolin, the song is about a prostitute who likes to kill her Johns before servicing them. Great bass line to start the song. Cool guitars. I feel like we're missing a lot of mid-frequencies. Everything seems mixed a little weird, and them trying to metal it up went a little overboard in the production. Some more good high notes from Sebastian, though.
Lisa.
Oh, spoiler alert. I listened to this song on repeat back in the day. And now that we know what it's about, maybe we should be scared. Love the bass
We're
opening.
frightened.
Yeah, love the bass opening. Go, Rachel. Love the metal riff and the dual guitar effects. There's a hint of blues in this one, maybe a little sleaze blues. Sounds a bit more like the first album. Lyrics are ridiculously good, right from the first line, where we have "Check out Clementine cleaning needles in her wine." Like, how cool is that?
So
Um,
cool. That's how you get
song-
hepatitis.
I think the song has a great hook, so gritty and sleazy and repeatable. But then we get to the incredible bridge. The song slows down. We get the guitar crying in the background. So beautifully built into the mix. Masterful production on this one and a great arrangement. The lust to lust scream and the explosion into the guitar solo is so perfect. I like how this song is metal, it's sleaze. Sebastian's voice is dragging on the verses in so many ways. It's angry, it's desperate. I love it. And then we get this fast play out. The tempo speeds up at the end, and the guitar licks in the back, and Sebastian's like scream at the end of the song. It's fantastic. So.
Yeah, nicely said. Usually I spend a lot of time, well, I shouldn't say, usually my wife spends a lot of time editing this podcast before we put it out. But since I promised you guys the podcast tomorrow morning, there's going to be a lot of extra bullshit on this one that you're just going to have to get through. Like I'd probably take out a lot of the stuff and like I'm spacing out and stuff, but whatever. Track number 6, Get the Fuck Out. So this one is a struggle for me. My heart tells me it's cheesy, but Sebastian has some big character going on here. This is the Diamond Dave stuff I was talking about earlier, with the money line, get the fuck out. But overall, it feels a little bit like a jam to me, like more of a jam and less of a song. And it always gives me the big douche chills. You know why? Because the song is douchey and it sucks. Dave.
Well, Sebastian is a rude, crude dude. And once he's got what he wanted from the groupies in the song, he's done with them.
Get the fuck out.
The song is tongue-in-cheek. Bridge is a little weak, but chorus is good. We actually just added this one to the Gypsy Freaks playlist.
Oh, no.
We got shows coming up all this month. Saturday, August 9th, that is 2 days from today that we're recording this, at Revo Casino in Conway, New Hampshire. And we probably won't be playing that one since we keep it a little more polite for the casino shows.
Get the heck out.
Yeah. But Saturday, August 16th at Abreu's in Drake, Mass, we probably will be playing it. According to an article on the album from ultimateclassicrock.com, to appease the PMRC, they did release a clean version of the album where Get the Fuck Out was replaced by the Japanese B-side Beggar's Day. I've never heard that song before, so I had to look it up, and it was just okay. It didn't knock me out, but
I am
was just
shocked.
okay.
You never heard that. Absolutely shocked.
I had never heard that before in my life.
Yeah.
Dave, why don't you guys book a show at fucking Plainridge Casino so I can come see you guys, and I can also have an excuse to go waste a bunch of money on slot machines.
We're working on it.
Yeah,
Mhm.
Plainridge or
Hopefully.
Twin
One
River
day
would
soon.
be even. Twin River would be even better.
Oh, yeah.
It's a big stage.
We're
Remember
working
seeing
on it.
Todd Harvey's band, the 80s band, play there. I don't remember what the
Nice.
name of the band is, but they're
We
good.
can fill it up for sure.
Yeah. Lisa.
Okay, this one is very punk, very fun. A great song to end the album side one with. We get Sebastian's very gritty, high-pitched voice on this one, perfect for a punk song. Standard punk arrangement, and the lyrics are snippy and edgy. The chorus has this great line, "You're standing too close, what the fuck's with you? You ain't my old lady, and you ain't a tattoo." I love how Sebastian changes the first "get the fuck out" to like this sarcastically dripping in sarcasm spoken word. And then we get the gang vocals on the next one. We get some cowbell, some lyrical play from Sebastian on the post chorus, and with some great lyrics in the second chorus. I ain't buying you breakfast, so keep your mouth busy and wrap your lips all around my attitude.
Oh, that's so
yeah.
fucking gay.
Oh, I love it. This song is just dripping with attitude and some little glam plays. It's a bit Guns N' Roses from their heyday. Nice bridge that breaks up the song in a weird way, pulling across the chords. Fun guitar solo. The song is super short. I really love this one. It kind of shows their versatility. And Beggar's Day, if you haven't heard it, it's pretty good. So I guess it was a good compromise when they had to remove this one from the album. It's also a pretty big memory song for me. So I must have, with all of the times that I bought the album, bought both versions at some point. I don't ever remember buying two at once, but I definitely had my hands on both because I know the words to both of these songs like back and forth. If you haven't listened to it, go take a listen to it. It has nice vocal effects, has a little bit of a feeling of the first album, and don't miss the guitar solo on this one. It's very long and extended.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. All right. So that will end side A. If you're listening to the show on vinyl, flip it over and slap it in the ass. Lisa, so you have put together a nice little Ozzy tribute. You're going to do that. And then we are going to bring back a segment that the listeners have been clamoring for, but I have not brought back. We're going to do it today. We're going to bring back the bonus track. And I saved the little audio thing. I had it. So we're going to do it old school. Lisa, bring us into this nice Ozzy tribute.
So unless you live under a rock or are on Mars, you all already know that we lost our beloved rock icon, the Prince of Darkness, recently, only 17 days after his last concert for Black Sabbath and his solo act. So let's talk about the last concert because, we've kind of at a high level touched on it over the past couple of episodes. But let's go a little bit deeper into the concert itself. Obviously, one of the biggest and best concerts in recent memory, with all the acts paying tribute to Ozzy and Black Sabbath and his legacy of songs. Culminating in a performance by the original members, all of them, of Black Sabbath and Ozzy's solo music. So musical legends from Steven Tyler to Youngblood. So back in the day, all the way forward, we had bands like Pantera and Slayer, Guns N' Roses, and Metallica. It was a parade of every metal music band that you remember from back in the day. We had slightly newer bands like Gojira. We had everyone from Scott Ian to Rudy Sarzo, Sammy Hagar, and obviously we already talked about Hailstorm on this episode with Lizzie Hale playing with Hailstorm and also with one of the supergroups. How great was everyone? Like Youngblood was freaking amazing, and I think was probably one of the most surprising moments. Yeah. Steven Tyler, a man who basically retired from music because of the damage to his vocal cords, sounded fantastic. And I suppose he could do that for this one-shot show, right? He's not going to do that every night. But if he's got to do it once, and apparently it isn't a problem for him, and what a treat for everyone. And what a treat for seeing the guys from Black Sabbath back together again after all that time. These aren't young guys, let's be clear, and they did sound great. Whoever thought that we would see these legends together again? And we talked earlier about, will Sebastian ever come back to Skid Row? No one ever thought that Black Sabbath would ever be on the same stage again, and here we are.
That's right.
Right. So how many performances were tearjerkers? Like, oh my God, you know me and my crying when I hear Crazy Train every time. But Ozzy singing Mama, I'm Coming Home, the entire crowd was in tears.
That's right.
Yeah. For me, the highlight and the MVP of the show was Nuno. Of course, Nuno Bettencourt. So good. Who played multiple songs with multiple lineups, played circles around everyone on the stage. He's no young buck. He's our age too, and he absolutely shredded the entire show and made it look effortless. Sharon has made a statement that she stopped Nuno from singing at the event. We had Ozzy, we had Geezer, we had Tony, we had special guests stepping in with very personal connections to the songs. This is a quote from Sharon. This wasn't about showing off. It was about honoring the legacy of Sabbath and those first steps of metal. I needed Nuno to focus on his guitar, and thank God he did, because he was the glue that held the whole thing together. So
He was very good.
very good. Nuno was not upset about this. In fact, he was just honored to be there and honored to pay tribute to Ozzy and play his guitar. It has been discussed whether this show will spawn kind of, I don't want to call it a, more tours of this same exact lineup, but at least some other shows, maybe of some of the acts that played together, where maybe we'll actually be able to get to hear Nuno sing some of these songs.
It'd be cool.
Yeah, and he does play all the time and sing. And I just watched a few videos of him playing just the other day. So yeah, he's really good.
Playing with Ann Wilson from Heart. You ever see that?
Yeah.
That was pretty good.
I did see. Yeah, he's so good. Oh,
Yeah, so good.
love Ann. Speaking of young, shout out to Youngblood, who killed the song Changes. It's nice to see the younger generation in this genre. And I also love to see the interaction between Youngblood and Ozzy during the rehearsal week, where he gave Ozzy a gift of a cross that he wore around his neck. You don't often see the younger generation understanding this kind of music, and seeing that was
But
really
weren't
great.
they very close in real
They
life
were.
anyway? Very close.
Yeah.
Almost like another child to Ozzy. Like he loved that kid. Yeah.
He had a special relationship with a lot of people. A lot of musicians have come out and said that Ozzy had taken them, whoever it was, under his wing and guided their careers. I mean, this man was very generous with his time and his help and his mentorship.
I mean, even Zach Wild.
Yeah, even Zach Wild, exactly. Yeah. So, who else could have pulled this off for charity, right? I can't think of anyone else who could have pulled together this kind of a lineup and had all the money go to charity except for Sharon and Ozzy.
Motley Crue could have done it. They would have
No.
I don't think so. No.
I want my money back.
Yeah. I read in the years leading up to this show, so the last few years, Ozzy's Parkinson's had gotten a lot worse, right? He was quite ill. He was in chronic, debilitating pain, both from Parkinson's and also from the many surgeries and injuries he's had to his back over the years. And despite this, he was still making music, still communicating with people, still planning more, was intending to plan more, coming up, but of course that can't happen now. He lamented to Sharon that it couldn't possibly be over yet, that he had not been able to say thank you to his fans and farewell. And he was insistent that he needed to thank the fans, and he wasn't willing to retire until he had a chance to do this. And I would say he did. He
did with every album he put out.
Yeah,
Yep.
with a big and unforgettable way. This concert not only was full of cheers and tears, but it raised $190 million, that's dollars in US, for charities such as Children's Hospitals and Parkinson's Research.
That's great.
Yeah. So as everybody knows, 17 days later, we got the heartbreaking news that Ozzy had left this realm. It was shared online and spread instantly all over the world. I was actually myself quite shocked. I had seen the show and thought that he looked quite good and healthy. But as we say, time moves fast and you just never know. It didn't look to me like they were using any studio magic or any tracks on his voice. He may have had, his usual effects on his voice, but I don't think he was getting any magical help beyond that.
Oh.
I was thinking to myself, oh, it'll be so nice now for Ozzy to retire and get to spend time with his family. And it's kind of like a payback for all that he's given us. But that was not what was to be. To be fair, his family isn't being open about what happened to him. We do have the information, obviously, now. We didn't when we previously recorded this, but we do have the information now that's on his death certificate, where it says that, he did die from cardiac arrest. That could be many things, but we don't need to hear why. We don't need anyone to tell the story of this. This is nobody's business but his family.
Yeah.
Maybe sometime in the future they're going to want to share it, but I don't like seeing people just insisting that they know what happened. I really hate that.
Human beings are so fucking morbid. Who cares? It's not just he passed away. That's all you need to know.
Yeah, that's all you need to know. And I did like that, his daughter, Amy, who is his oldest daughter, was the one who filed his death certificate. And she listed his occupation as it was songwriter, performer, and rock legend, which I think was
great.
very fitting. Yep. So this, of course, was a huge loss for the world of music, for metal, for artists, for fans. I really haven't seen an outpouring of grief like this almost ever before. He wasn't just a musician. He was a reality star. He was, basically an icon. We discussed in our Blizzard of Oz episode the immense impact that he had on music, creating a genre, basically, being everyone's mentor, inspiring countless musicians, even outside the metal genre, and generously sharing his time, as we just mentioned, and his music with cover artists and parodies rather than suing them, like Max Sabbath, who is a Black Sabbath cover band who is a McDonald's parody, and he thought it was great, right?
I thought it was great.
Yeah. The reality show made him human to us. He was also a father and a husband, and he kind of became a fabric, part of the fabric of our society. Having said that, he's a human being, just like all of us. Every human being, all of us, have made mistakes. As with any celebrity death, there's always going to be people who immediately jump on those who are mourning with some evidence of something that he did in his past. And Ozzy did make a lot of mistakes. He has identified those mistakes himself, admitted to them publicly, and in at least his own unique way, attempted to right those wrongs. Through his charity work, through his making direct recompense to his family, especially to Sharon, who was basically the receiver of some of this bad behavior, to his ex-wife and all sorts of other people. He's made his peace with that, and really it isn't for any of us to judge that, because every single one of us have had failures. It's no one's business, and I saw from Ozzy a public effort to make some of the bad actions right over his life, to talk about it, to share it, and to help other people get through their own mistakes. I also see a lot of people in this world making no attempt to right their shitty behavior and just living in this place of righteousness or denial. Those are the people that we're going to talk about when they die and stick it to them, but not Ozzy.
Yep. He
tried. He was, he dealt with his mistakes, and it's not for us to judge. So,
No.
An outpouring of grief from his fans was pretty overwhelming. Literally every person that I knew had some kind of attachment to Ozzy and has posted about it. Businesses have, paid tribute to him both online and in their, brick and mortar businesses. Orchestras are playing his music, including, the Coldstream Guards, which is the orchestra of Buckingham Palace, paying a tribute to him. This has never been done for any other musician before in history. So kudos to King Charles, even though I don't like him very much, for doing that. People have been listening to his music for 50 years. People I never knew liked this genre of music have come out and said that they had some attachment to him. I'm trying to think of someone who had this level of grief around the world, and the only one I could pull out of my mind was Princess Diana and maybe Elvis, although I think I was too young to understand the grief of that one. Yep. I can't think of somebody in the future who would garner this same reaction, except my two thoughts are maybe Dolly Parton and Michael J. Fox would probably garner this level of grief. I can't think of anyone else.
Not in the rock world. Nobody is.
No.
We've said, you find out in death how big a mark you left on the world, and Ozzy left, I think, the biggest mark you could leave. I don't think anybody is going to get this kind of attention ever. Ever.
Yeah. I watched his funeral with thousands of people lining the streets, a small brass band playing his music. Ozzy had asked that his funeral not be a sad outpouring of grief. He wanted it to be treated as his final tour. I think even though we all wanted to celebrate him, this was a day definitely with cheers mixed with sadness. Grown men were breaking down in tears in the streets. Journalists, usually the most stone-cold people out there who are able to remove themselves from the stories that they report on, were breaking down while reporting on this story. I shared in the Ozzy episode that each day I get up, I check if Ozzy is alive, and I go on with my day. It was kind of a joke, but I realize now that he's gone, maybe it wasn't a joke. I think the world is a bit less for having him gone. So
I couldn't agree more. But Lisa, the fact that you were checking it every day leads me to believe that we knew that Ozzy was probably not Yeah, I mean,
maybe.
he lived a hard life. He was a rock star to
Yep.
the absolute. I mean, he was the rock star that debaucherous rock stars wanted to be. They
Yes.
strive to be like Ozzy, Nicky, Sebastian,
right.
all of them. So
Yeah.
he's the king of debauchery.
Yeah. So we're going to apologize to Sweet Cheater, who was my choice last week. We were going to use them in the Should They Have Made It segment on the show. We'll get back to you at some time in the future for sure.
Maybe.
But Des asked me to choose an Ozzy song for our bonus track. So not only he wanted me to choose a song, not one that you would hear from any cover band in any bar. We wanted to choose one that was more of a deep cut, one that not one that people are singing in their tribute bands or that you're using on their TikTok videos right now. Not Iron Man, not Close My Eyes Forever, which still, Lita, we love your song, but something that an average non-metal fan likely wouldn't recognize. So I thought I'd be picking something that would be about his final goodbye, like the song Tired, So Tired, or Close My Eyes Forever because it was like his goodbye song. But instead, I decided to honor Ozzy's wishes and make this time period be like his final tour. I'm choosing something that shows us how Ozzy lived. I choose the bonus track Rock and Roll Rebel from the Bark at the Moon album.
And now it is time to release
The bonus track.
All right, Rock and Roll Rebel. Nice one. Nice pick. I mean, it's a B-side Ozzy song, but it's an A-side song on anybody else's shitty album. So first off, going from the guitar sound on the Skid, because I had actually listened to this while I was listening to the Skid Row. I kind of listened to it in the middle, just the way we're doing the show here. And going from the guitar sounds on the Skid Row album to this was so dramatic. Jakey Lee had such a dry, present guitar sound on this track. I fucking loved it. And Dave, I hope you listened since the last time we recorded this. Strangely, it reminded me of Mick Mars's guitar sound on Knock 'Em Dead Kid. And if you had said that to me before I listened, I'd be like, get the fuck out, Jakey Lee and Mick Mars. Sound nothing alike. It sounded exactly like the guitar sound on Knock 'Em Dead Kid.
I would bet that Mick had Jake as a influence.
Geez,
they were playing around the same time frame though. So
I don't know if these two albums when they coincided together. I'd have to do some research on that. But of course, Bob Daisley, Tommy Aldridge, locked in, sounding great. And it's funny when I think of Ozzy, my first thought always is, like we were saying, madman, debauchery, king of fucking crazy, king of controversy, legendary. But honestly, his vocals are always top notch. He has the perfect range, not too high, not too low. Just it's perfect. Never gets pitchy, never feels like he's reaching for something out of his range. And that's live or on records. I've never listened to Ozzy been like, fuck, he's not doing it. He's always doing it. Lyrics, as good or better than any I've ever heard, except for maybe Appetite for Destruction, but that's a unicorn. As for a B-side song, it's as good as it gets. This song is fucking killer. Ozzy's career and his catalog was just over the moon. You can't find a bad song. You can't find a bad album. I know some people don't like some of the newer stuff. I love it all right down the line from Black Sabbath to where we end at the very end of his catalog. So just really great. I like the song a lot. Big piece of rock and roll pop culture. Ozzy Osbourne. Dave.
That's right. We lost Ozzy. He meant a lot to almost every heavy metal fan. He was the king of heavy metal.
What's happening? What's happening?
We've completely lost Dave. We might need to do this later.
Lose Dave?
Yeah.
What the fuck is the problem?
Yeah. Go ahead.
Keep going. Dave was having a stroke.
Stop.
What is going on? Fucking awesome. Holy shit.
Stop. Okay. Ozzy.
Oh my God, it's over. It's over.
Sweating. We have to finish this podcast. We're almost there. Lisa, is this something that happens when does he gets punchy at night when he's tired?
Yeah, he's exhausted.
Did he shoot heroin? What happened?
It sounds like it.
Lisa, what'd you think of the song?
Okay, so of course, the reason I chose this song is the lyrics. This is off my brother's favorite album.
Whoa!
This is a song about how Ozzy was always labeled as the rebel, going against societal norms, one of the originators of the satanic panic from the Christo-fascist right. This song was censored and slandered. But the reality then, and more clearly now, is that it was the people of the powered society that were the liars, the cheaters, the scammers, building their empire on the backs of the honest little people. That was true then. It's even more true now. That governments and religions tell their followers that people like Ozzy are meant to be feared and are evil, but the true evil lies in the ones pointing their fingers. Every accusation is a confession. They manipulate people to get power and money. Ozzy decided he wasn't playing that game anymore. They say, the lyrics of the song, they say I worship the devil. They must be stupid or blind. Hilarious to me, as Ozzy was always a member of the Anglican Church. In 1992, he declared himself a member of the Church of England. Later in life, he would say he doesn't believe in God the way that the church says, like a magical man with all the dogma, which he considers nonsense. Instead, he believes in a higher power that's what other people may call God. And if you look around, those following the magic God are the evil ones. Who do you hear about committing the atrocities and crimes against children and women? Let me give you a hint. It's not the atheists. We all know where the true evil is in this world. In this song, he goes on to say that he won't stop and he's going to do what he wants. Ozzy says in the song he tells no lies and that he won't stop being a rock and roll rebel. And I think we can all agree that he kept his word right to his last breath. We get a nice rock and roll riff here, some nice guitar work through the song, little tricks along the way. We've got some percussion coming in really well. Surprisingly, the bass is very noticeable. The production is so balanced for this time period. We have a standard arrangement with a hook that you can't not sing along with. A great guitar solo, very metal for this first part. And always the perfect bridge where the music is brought down and the tempo changes. He always writes fantastic bridges. This one goes into the second guitar solo that has so much more emotion from Jake. He was filling some big shoes in this recording with the loss of Randy, and I think that he really went above and beyond, not just on this song, but on every song on this album to make it something special. We get Ozzy's recognizable voice, some nice inflection from him throughout the song, and in the playout, we get a third guitar solo, which is much more shreddy. This song is full of beautiful guitar. Jake wasn't known for his classical or neoclassical style the way that Randy was. He had a more blues-driven style that would shape what metal turned into the future. I think this is a very overlooked song.
Yeah, I think that's well said. I mean, you know, it's funny you were talking about that line. They say I worship the devil. That's like that line in the Skid Row song we were just talking about earlier. You know, smile pretty for the wrecking ball. It's such a great line. It stands out to me every single time, and it's so, you know, when he's saying, you know, people are so dumb. It's like this is an act. It's a show.
Yeah,
you know, it's so cool. Was Dave getting a hot pocket and a fucking Mountain Dew? I mean, what's going on?
He's done.
That's it. We're finishing the show, me and you.
Me and you. Let's do it.
Holy shit. This is amazing. Can I leave that?
Oh, sure.
It was magical.
Yeah, we lost him.
I can't believe it. Okay. It'd be a much shorter second half of the album. Okay. So let's flip it over. First song, second side, Living on a Chain Gang. So we get the big vocal here right from the starting gun, right? I want to talk about the split guitar solo. So I am getting the Robin Crosby, Warren DeMartini vibe here. Yep. And that is not a slight on either of these guitar players because I love Warren DeMartini and Robin Crosby. But they had such, you know, distinct styles between the two of them. You could really, you know, differentiate them. You know, Robin was more this melodic player where Warren was more the technical shredder. And Scotty really stepped it up on this album. He stepped up his shredding abilities. And I don't want to call it shredding because it's not, but it's definitely teetering on the edge of that. He was always very good. He would have these nice little runs on the first album, but he was able to expand on these and make them longer and more interesting. I thought it was really good. Jake is more my Jake the Snake. I'm back to Jake.
Jake the
I'm doing
Snake.
it. I'm doing it.
And this
I'm
is
doing it.
where it happened last time. It's
I'm
like
doing
huge
it.
deja vu. Yeah.
So Jake the Snake is kicking ass on this. He's
Mhm.
more my style of guitar player, but I just really wanted to tip my hat to fucking Scotty and how much he upped his game on this album. He was definitely practicing in the off season. As for the song overall, it's just okay. It's not my favorite Skid Row song, but it's good. Lisa.
I think the Jake the Snake thing comes into that we were just talking about Jakey Lee, so it's like the double crossover there. So yeah.
Oh, totally.
So we get a nice isolated vocal with a good guitar riff. Great lyrics on this song about how absolutely bonkers the world is, where poor people are scapegoated while billionaires live the life and get away with murder, which is exactly what Ozzy was saying on his song.
Absolutely.
It was 35 years ago, and it's only gotten worse. You can really see the depth of the lyrics on this album. The first album was great, definitely way deeper than your average glam album, but this one was over the top in lyrical creativity and depth of meaning. We get a great hook on this song, kind of like a reverse layout with the gang vocals speaking and the variable lines from the variable lines from the band and Sebastian singing the hook, which is usually the opposite that you get on a song like this. All the songs on this album have such a balanced production. On this song, you can clearly hear all of the instruments, both guitars layered perfectly, percussion coming through clearly, especially I don't know my drum terms very well, but I think it's the bell of the cymbal that we hear throughout the song, and it's so clear. You usually don't hear that in a production like this. Yeah. We get a driving bass line. Nothing is lost or buried here, and nothing is too far to the front. We get a great guitar solo. This one is longer, shifting between the two players. And like you said, the Warren DeMartini and Robin Crosby cross, I can definitely see that. I think that Dave and Scotty are a little more similar than Robin and Warren were, but definitely you can hear the difference there. We've got a perfectly formed bridge that doesn't change the song too much, but lyrically and melodically it links it to the solo in the next verse. I think for this song, though, it's completely the lyrics for me.
Yeah, no, it's the bell on that ride cymbal you're talking about.
It's the bell on the ride cymbal.
Yeah,
yes,
it's so
exactly.
good. The top.
Yeah, I don't know my terms there. Like originally, I was like, "Is that a cowbell?" No, it's not a cowbell. It's much cleaner. Much cleaner. Yeah.
Is he back?
I think so. You back?
Did you get your Hot Pocket and your Mountain Dew?
I'm back.
Dave, did you get a Hot Pocket and a Mountain Dew?
Sure.
All right, everybody. Dave is back.
You need some Cafex. What is it that you're drinking?
Cafex. If you're trying to quit caffeine, go to Cafex. Dave, I don't care. That was one of the most epic fucking moments in this show's history. I would edit 1 second out of that for $1 million.
All right.
Okay, so track number 8. Dave, you loved the last song, right? Of course you did. Okay, track number 8, Creep Show. So this intro was a little weird for me. When I was listening to it, I thought the track started I was like, was I already listening to this? Did I missed the beginning of the song? So I went back and started it over again. No, it just sounds like it starts in the middle of the song during a bridge, which is a piece of music.
A real bridge?
With no vocals on it. So it sounded like it started in the middle of a bridge to me. Overall, the song felt flat to me. Felt like a B track from the first album. I was having fun guessing who played the solos, and I guessed this one right. This is, and I have written here Jake's solo, but it's really Dave the Snake.
Jake the Snake.
Yeah, it was very good. Stylistically different from Scotty, and I really loved it. I mean, Jake holds his own on this album.
Dave.
No, from here on out, it's just Jake the Snake. I can't change it. Dave, would you like to talk about this song?
Sure.
No, go ahead.
Creep Show had a good groove and yes, more cowbell. Interestingly, this one was written by Bolin and Scotty Hill and Rob Affuso. Did he get writing credit for that cowbell?
I hope not. Lisa.
Different sound to this song right out of the gate. The music seems looser and more bluesy. We get some nice cowbell in the intro that isn't cheesy at all, with the bass line coming through strong. Right in the first verse, we get a callback to the first album, My Sweet Little Sister Was Laying Me Away. So lyrics seem to be about seeing his girlfriend on the creep show. Not sure if this means a horror movie where she's an actress and killing someone, or if she's actually on the news killing someone. Yep, it's about his girlfriend murdering him. Cool. Great guitar solo that functions as a bridge here, like a solo bridge hybrid. Sounds like layered guitars, a nice bluesy sound. This one is totally different than some of the others on the album. Sebastian hits some great high notes on this song, and to be fair, the lyrics are a little bit muddy, but honestly, some of these were maybe on purpose because it's a pretty violent song. We often hear people just singing the hook along with this one. I love it. It's dark and creepy and violent and a little sick. Pretty perfect. Great drawn out bluesy ending with Sebastian giving us a tiny, tiny taste of Steven Tyler's scatting, but with a metal twist that's all his own and totally works.
I always kind of got the vibe like the song was written about like you're now dating this girl, you're starting to get serious, you're at like your buddy's house at a party, he pulls out like some porn and you're like, oh, my girlfriend, holy shit, like their past career.
Like Centerfold, like the song Centerfold from the 80s. My girlfriend's
Yep.
Centerfold.
Exactly. Yep. Holy
Mhm.
shit. Track number 9. In a darkened room. Second power ballad on the album here. I know you said the first one didn't feel like a power ballad to you, Lisa, but these feel like power ballads to me. This is still not 18 in Life or I Remember You, but I think it's better than Quicksand Jesus. For me, it's the better of the two songs. And I said it before, I didn't come to this album for power ballads. I came to this album for the heavier edge they brought, for the new, updated Skid Row, if you want to call it that. Overall, song is solid. I thought it was really good. Got some really nice lyrics, got some really good vocals, got a solid arrangement, nice bridge, nice pre-chorus. Some really great guitar work from Scotty here with just the right amount of Jake the Snake Sabo sprinkled on top. Just a little bit on top of the solo, Dave.
Yes, the song was the 4th single released from the album. I don't remember this one being a single and may never have seen this video. According to Wiki, it charted in Switzerland at number 27. The simple guitar lead has a great sound, very thick and juicy.
Juicy. I've never heard juicy from you guys before.
Dude, I love the way he's saying it now because he's all punchy and tired. He's like, juicy.
It sure is.
Lisa.
We've got another masterful ballad. This one, I've worn out copies of the album playing over and over. This song is such a masterpiece, but I wonder if Wasted Time weren't on this album, if this one would have gotten even more attention. It's so good. And really in isolation is one of the best slow tempo songs of the era. It's hard to say with songs like Quicksand Jesus and Wasted Time on this album, but that's my opinion. Beautiful guitar opening from Scotty, so much emotion. We hear his guitar crying. I love Sebastian's voice in this song, especially when you can hear him take those big breaths before he belts out a line. In a lot of recordings, they edit out that breath. So you'll hear like the before he starts singing the line. And that's probably my favorite part of this song. Yeah. It feels like he's like really singing it, kind of like getting out of breath. I don't know if it's true. I don't know if this is 10,000 studio takes or what, but you'd never know it. I know this song so well, I didn't even have to look up the lyrics. Another song for Rachel and Dave where the lyrics are insanely deep, meaningful, and complex. I have a hard time singling out the best lyrics in this song because the entire thing is an utter masterpiece. Forgive me, please, for I know not what I do. How can I keep inside the hurt I know is true? It's so perfection. A song about longing for someone that's already gone, being in a hole that you think you'll live in forever, and just waiting for a spark of light. It's kind of a universal feeling expressed in a completely new way. It's hard to talk about a hook in this song. There is one with the title of the song, but it's not the part of the song I sing over and over. It's the way Sebastian delivers the hook, slightly different each time. And the last time where he holds the line, "Let there be light," and light, he holds the light in a darkened room with that high note, like scream growl, is just out of this world. Beautiful guitar solo, a continuation of the opening, and it goes right into the play out fade. This song is nice and long, which I appreciate. Of course, in the video, we have Scotty featured in the opening, which is a nice change. The shots appear to be of a rehearsal space originally, and the guys look like they've kind of put their all into the performance. Maybe they're doing a dress rehearsal. As the video goes on, it switches over to the live show where the audience is absolutely going crazy. This is obviously deep into this performance show. They are covered in sweat and look disheveled, like they've been giving it their all for a long time. We've got Sebastian without a shirt, just dripping, and his hair is like not perfect and kind of sticking to his face. I like that the camera is a little bit shaky. We get some wide shots of the stage as if there's kind of a fan standing at the back of the arena and shooting the crowd and the band on stage while they're playing. It makes you feel like you're actually at the show. I love videos with like real concert footage and not contrived footage. So,
Yep. Love that. We're shooting a video tonight. Those are the best.
Yep.
Yeah, you nailed it though with the breaths and stuff. Sebastian definitely was, they weren't trying to make this one quite so perfect and over polished and produced. They said, let's just give it a little bit of a organic feel. And I liked it. I thought it worked out well.
Yeah.
Track number 10, Riot Act. So I'm going to address the elephant in the room here. This is where Scotty gets to show us his progression as a lead guitar player. He brings some fucking absolute fire on this track. I was super impressed. I mean, he was not playing like this on the first album. As for the song, it's fine for a Scotty Hill solo backing track. Straightforward as it gets, little fun punk energy, but this is all about Scotty saying, hey, look what I've been doing. Dave.
Yeah, here's a punk metal song, kind of a standard teenage rebellion lyrics. Pretty good chorus, awesome guitar solo.
Lisa, we're fucking grinding this thing out, man. I hope you people appreciate this.
We're doing it.
Dave fell asleep during the Ozzy tribute. Dave fell asleep during the Ozzy tribute. Lisa woke him up. She's like, dude, we're still doing the show. We are grinding this thing to the end. We're almost there. Yeah. Lisa, keep going.
Okay.
I know.
This is an immediate raw punk song, which is needed after that last one. It kicks you right in the nuts if I had nuts to kick. Which nuts. I do not. Unlike True,
sure?
I'm sure.
Dave, are you sure?
Unlike True Punk, we can actually understand Sebastian's lyrics. Short verses, nice pre-chorus, great hook, like any punk song needs. One you can jump around to and smash stuff. You say it's raining, but you're pissing down my back. Just love that line. Super fun, sleazy guitar solo. Not punk, but it fits the song great, and it makes the song fit a little better with this album, having that solo in there. After the solo, we get Sebastian screaming in a high register, and you can still understand him. I love how he plays with the melodies as the song ends. I love the little growls, the ends at the ends of the line, and the little glam throwback at the end where he says intact, tact, where he draws that out. Love that. Super short, stick ending, super fun. I could have listened to it longer.
Yeah, we talked about it. He's used that trick on the first album. I don't remember which song it was, but same exact trick. And I love it.
It's very
this time.
glam.
Yeah. I love it. Glam. But he does it in his own way. It sounds very signature when Sebastian does it. It's kind of like Axl's na 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 na
right.
na na.
Yeah.
Track number 11, Mud Kicker. Unfortunately, this one was just, and I hope you guys listened and heard it this time. So this one is just a weird down-paced ripoff of Monkey Business. And I said it last time, maybe if they thought they put 10 tracks between the two songs, I wouldn't notice, but I did notice. This is fucking Monkey Business, just slower and worse. I did not care for this song. Maybe if I hadn't heard Monkey Business, I would have liked it, but I did hear Monkey Business. Dave, did you hear the similarity?
Yeah, I did once you mention it. Cool opening riff that I think maybe in an odd time. I think this one is Alice in Chains influenced. We get some double guitar in the solo. Very nice. The song has a good groove and flow.
Dude, if I had more time to edit this podcast tonight, which I don't, I would put like a lullaby music behind every time Dave was like explaining the track. It would be like,
We're losing him.
it would be
We're
cute.
losing
But
him.
I can't do it.
Mhm.
Lisa, talk about it.
Okay, Sebastian
Yeah.
has a writing credit on this one with Dave and Rachel. Nice metal guitar opening. This one is definitely metal and very angry, a song to get your anger out. I didn't hear the comparison that you guys both heard.
Really?
So I
Wow.
didn't, and I still haven't. Yep.
Mhm.
Love the vocals on this one. Very dark and evil. Minor chords and growls right from the first line. So complex and for an angry song with the lyrics about rich people with power, lying, and cheating, people who do the actual work, and how they aren't going to last long. This seems to be an ongoing theme, both on this album and in Ozzy's music, as we heard earlier. So many great lyrical and vocal moments here, like when he says, "Ladies and gentlemen, the members of the jury," and it's kind of like a spoken word growl. I just love that. Or when he has the "Here's mud in your eyes" at the end of the chorus, and it just kind of growls out. As the song goes longer, Sebastian gets angrier. The lyrics get growlier, the screams get louder, the guitar licks get lickier. Sebastian's register gets higher and higher. I love the key changes in this song. Yes, lickier. A nice solo on this one. Interesting melody. I've never heard anything like it. It remains metal and keeps with the feeling of the song. As the play out happens, Sebastian really plays with the hook until the very last line when he says, "I don't fuck around, no." It's a great song to get your anger out.
I hated it.
Ugh.
I hated all the jury stuff, and
Ugh.
I just hated it all. It was so fucking sucked.
Loved it.
Yeah.
Track number 12. We made it. We made it. Damn it. Dave, I appreciate you
Yeah.
grinding this one out. I hope the listeners appreciate him grinding this one out. He could have eaten that Hot Pocket in that Mountain Dew and gone right to bed. He could have
We
quit
could
on
have
the
lost
show,
him completely.
but he
I could
didn't.
have
He
punched
said,
out
Yeah.
and left.
so I'm
Yeah.
gonna fucking get through this thing no matter what. So track number 12. This this is as good any ending track on any album that we've ever reviewed. This is how you go out. I mean, fuck. This is my favorite hair metal vocal track of all times. Sebastian Bach caught lightning in a jar with this one. This is one of those ones where he finished recording it and they all sat around and went, wow. Wow. Did I just hear that? His performance is off the charts. His range, his power over the top here as it builds to an almost unachievable height by the end of the song. This track is absolutely amazing, and I could not love it any more than I do. And the guitar work is also spectacular. Dave.
This was single number 3 off the album. I'm not sure what these lyrics mean either. Maybe regrets of things done or not done in the past. Very powerful and evocative. The horse stampedes and rages in the name of desperation is such a good lyric that paints a picture in your mind. The song is great. I'm unsure about the ending section after the bridge. The background vocal working the chorus in with a slightly modified melody is cool, as all the lead vocal screams, but I would have liked to go back to the actual chorus before ending the song.
Yeah, I mean, last time I read it off of Google, but I will just tell you the abbreviated version of what this song is about. It's actually written about Steven Adler from Guns N' Roses in his struggle with drug addiction, and also one of Sebastian's close friends who also struggled with drugs, and the basically the gap between, you know, entry level drugs and then getting to like heroin by the end, which is what they're talking about in this song. So that's roughly what the song is about. Lisa, would you like to elaborate on that and tell us your thoughts?
Oh, here it is, the big one, the power ballad extraordinaire.
Enchilada, big enchilada.
Yep. Just another mention about the lower tempo pseudo power ballads on this album. What a departure from the syrupy nonsense of the 80s. These songs have meaning, they have impact, they have heart and feeling without needing all of the sticky sweetness. Yes, this band was one of the stickiest and sweetest power ballad makers of all time. It's true. But they literally did it best back then, and they're doing this best now, and they moved on to bigger and better things. It was literally a perfect time for them to make this transition. They had already moved from glam before glam had completely died. They read the room and they understood the assignment. No lyric sheet here for me. I know this one by heart. Beautiful classic guitar opening, acoustic blending perfectly with Sebastian's really powerful vocals. While he has a sweet side to his voice, in this one, he's on a mission beyond that. Every sustained note, every high note, every inflection is flawless. I love the second verse and how he's already playing with the melody and strengthening the vocals. Paranoid delusions, they haunt you. Where's my friend I used to know? Perfectly balanced production here, but honestly, the feature on this is the vocals, and rightfully so. We get a great bridge and it goes a little metal with the ooh from Sebastian before the solo. Great solo energy and feeling. They get it right every time. They even blend the solo with the percussion at the end. It's really effective. And of course, we get the horse stampedes and rages in the name of desperation. Just no better lyrics than that. Towards the end of this song, they do have an outro. It's not a bridge, it's much more than that. It's almost a spoken word poem added to the end where he starts with, and you'll see the sickly hands of time will write your final rhyme and end your memory. Pretty dark lyrics for a song like this. The song tells us about loss. And I was thinking, knowing what the song is about, it's still in my head that songs can be interpreted in many ways. Not everybody reads the real reasons for songs to be written, right? So, it could be about loss, somebody who's died, or somebody who's just, thinking about a life that they didn't live, something that they wasted time doing. The outro tells us that no matter what we're dealing with, no matter how deep the loss, the earth keeps spinning on without us. More emotion in the vocal delivery in this song than any song ever performed. I'm dying to know how many takes it took to record this. I have never asked them that, by the way.
So many.
10,000.
Yeah.
They're still working on it right now.
Yeah. I've never asked
times.
them directly. So hard to end an album with a ballad, but this is the ballad of the ages, and honestly was the perfect ending for this album. Masterpiece of a song. Just a masterpiece in the entire genre. So
I think this is my favorite Skid Row song. Not because it's my favorite Skid Row song, because it's not, but it's my favorite Skid Row song, if that makes sense. Like if I had to play somebody one Skid Row song, I could only play him one, this would be the one I'd play him.
Yeah, exactly.
Even though it probably should be Youth Gone Wild, it would be this.
Right.
Okay, so that's it. We have talked about this album for 6 hours now, if you want to count the first time. This was the biggest grind ever to do this fucking pod. I don't know why this episode was like epically fucking difficult.
Yeah.
But we did it. We did it. We got through it just barely. So I hope you guys enjoyed the discussion. Let's move on to the final part of the show, and then we will log it and move on. So my favorite song, Wasted Time, song I would cut, Mud Kicker, because it sucked ass. I would remove Rob Afuso. He could go and play with Bon Jovi because that's where he belonged. And I would replace him with Tommy Rickard from Vane, the original drummer that played on No Respect.
It's a good
Dave.
pick.
Yeah, Dave, run through it.
My favorite track is Wasted Time. I would cut Creep Show. If I had to replace one member of the band, Rob Afuso is fine on drums and plays a mean cowbell on this album, but always seemed boring and not quite fit into the band. So I'm nominating Eric Singer, who has played for Lita Ford, Alice Cooper, Badlands, and Kiss. He's a great drummer and would do a kick-ass job.
I couldn't agree more. Lisa, same questions.
Okay, favorite track, Wasted Time, but I also loved In a Darkened Room, Quicksand Jesus, and Monkey Business. So, yep, but Wasted Time.
Cheater.
Yep. Not going to cut a track. You can't make me. I'm not going to do it. And I also don't want to replace anyone in the band either, but if you're going to force me to, I'm putting in Eric Ronwell.
What did I say? I said we could put on Christopher Walken on the cowbell.
Yeah. You could add someone to the band, maybe. I don't know.
There you
but
go. Yeah,
I don't feel,
cowbell, baby.
I don't
Yeah.
feel like they needed to replace anyone.
Yeah,
So.
we'll just add Christopher. Then he can stand beside Robin Fuso and make him look better.
Sure.
Okay, so that's it. Let's do some final thoughts. We'll score it and we will put Dave to bed. My final thoughts and score. This is a great album. Unfortunately, it falls a little short of their debut album. I mean, let's be honest. This is not the first album. It has some incredible moments, but it also has some very flat spots on it that I won't need to hear again. So for me, this album is pushing, and I get to adjust my score a little bit here because I went a little higher than this the first time. I'm going to bring it down just a little bit. This is going to be an 81.01. So it does get into the 80s.
Fair.
Yeah, 81.01. All right. Do you want me to stick to my original score?
No, it's fine. Do what you're gonna do.
No, I'll give it up. Fine.
This show has gone sideways. It's just 81.01.
No,
Do whatever you want.
I'm going to go with my
81.01.
original score. Original score, 84.9. That's my original score. That was my original gut feeling. So let's go with that. 84.9. That's fine.
All right.
Dave.
Okay, the album is good. It contains excellent performances. Some of Sebastian's best singing ever for sure. It really took balls for them to put this out after their first album with Youth Gone Wild and Big Guns and I Remember You. Good songs, but I am missing the fun. I like this because it's still them, but I prefer the first album. Glam Skid Row is the best Skid Row.
Agreed.
I would re-listen, and overall, I'm giving the album a 74.3.
I think he actually went down a little bit. Is that what he said last time? 74.
No, that's the same. That was the same as last
said
time.
I
the
want to
same.
go
Yeah.
closer to. I want to go 81.09. I went too high.
Too late.
I know. I would also listen to this album again, but I would be skipping tracks in all honesty. But out of respect, we're going to give it. It doesn't matter because you guys both said you'd listen to it again, but I would too.
Yeah.
Lisa.
So the reason that I can't cut a song or replace an artist on this album is because for me, this album is a literal masterpiece. I was talking to my friend, Janae, who has a much closer connection to the band than I do. And I was saying to her, how many times can you say masterpiece on the podcast, right? Like, you don't want to hear that over and over again. I need another word. And she offered legendary. And I said, okay, it's legendary too, but it's more than that. It's timeless. I can listen to this one over and over and it never gets old. I never get tired of it. I know every lyric. I know every note. I know every key change. It is utter perfection for me. Dave and Rachel did a great job on the first album. But if it's even possible, they matured and grew even more. The reason that I like this album is because they left the fun behind and they brought in the darkness, which is much more my style.
Boo.
It came out at a perfect time in my life for the darkness, a perfect time for music, for a band that was taking a turn away from glam before it even died, as if they were telling the future of it. They didn't go grunge or too grunge other than maybe some fashion choices, which was good too. And it let them stay alive a little longer. They were unfortunately alone in this choice. I feel like if more of the glam bands went into the heavier kind of metal, the genre still would have probably gone forward. But as we know, they didn't, and grunge kind of took over. They were kind of, if we go back to like Mr. Big and all that, they were sticking to the old formulas and the repackaged nonsense.
Trickster did not follow into the
Right.
flannel shirts and
True.
blue jeans trend.
Right. So for me, this album is a work of art. It contains literally the best metal vocal ever recorded at the time and still today. So the word I finally settled on for this album is flawless. I'm giving it 100 watts.
And what did you give the first album?
The first album I gave 99.
No. Okay. So
Yeah.
basically same
Still
score.
pretty good. Yeah.
Okay. So add them up and tell us where she lands.
Okay, on the Violent Vinyl album chart, Skid Row's 1991 Slave to the Grind album got a total score of 86.40, putting it at number 8? Number 8 on the chart, just below Faster Pussycat, Wake Me When It's Over, and just above Cinderella's Night Songs.
I like it. It's where it belongs. That's
Yeah,
exactly
and
how
Skid
I
Row
would.
the first album still is up at number 5. So
That's exactly how I would. I'd like it right between those two bands. It's perfect.
mhm.
Dave, you have the next pick. Please tell us what our homework assignment will be for the next 2 weeks.
Our next album will be Twisted Sister, Stay Hungry.
It's a good pick.
It is
Thank
a great
you.
pick. Can't
I'm
wait
not
to listen.
super familiar with them, so this will be a good one for me to do.
I'm
Yeah.
not super familiar with this album either, but I'm
Mm.
interested.
And we are going to keep it local to the New York, New Jersey area. The Should They Have Made It pick. And we're going to Pharaoh with Red Flag. The video can be found on their YouTube channel, Sex Glam Gloom, with 69 subscribers, by the way. Can't make this stuff up. According to their Reverb Nation profile, Pharaoh was best known for their outrageous stage antics, half blonde and half black hairdos, and beat conscious rock and roll. All armed with their self indoctrinated credo, Sex Glam Gloom, the band would dominate the tri state area's music scene during the 1980s.
Using the word dominate loosely there.
I think so.
I still think that Des, you were the originator of the half and half hair, and I'm
Yes.
sticking with that forever.
I don't know about that.
I did it first. There's 100%.
did.
I'm famous for it. I saw guys come out and do it after me. It's all set. Okay. On our sister podcast, Hey, Did You Ever See That Movie? We will be reviewing 7 with Mickey and Tony 2.0, and we'll be recording that this weekend. So if you're a big fan of Hey, Did You Ever See That Movie? That's what you'll be hearing next. So until next time, take those albums out of the sleeve and let the music breathe. See you next time.